This is the Brain, and you're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network. Yes!
This is Craig Miller, Director of Star Wars Fan Relations, and you are listening to Studio 2009, only on the Geekcast Radio Network.
There is nothing wrong with your podcast player. Do not attempt to adjust the volume. Hello and welcome back into our studio. You're now listening to Studio 2009, only on the Geekcast Radio Network. This is episode 179, folks. We only got something like 21 or so episodes to episode 200. I'm, of course, TFG1Mike, and for our first time ever, we bring you even more media mayhem, because it will be like sands of the hourglass. These are the decades of our lives. Today, I welcome that good old detective of film and television. It's David Draper. Hello, sir. How are you?
Well, I was adjusting my volume when you told me that we weren't supposed to, so...
No, you can adjust your volume all you want. It's fine. It's fine. This is all his fault, folks, because he gave me this idea once I saw his
I posted
idea.
One thing on Facebook, and now you turn it into a whole thing.
Exactly. Well, that's the way I get ideas. I steal them from other people.
Yeah, I do too. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, you're the one that wanted to run with it.
Well, hey, look, man. Like, it's just the way I roll. It's just look. In this landscape of artificial intelligence, what little brain cells I actually have, I need to be able to use them and be able to create something. And for me, as much as I love the movie stuff, and we will be doing more movie listings, I will be having more people on the show in the future to do more of the movie mayhem type stuff. The TV side really is what peaked. I'm like, because, again, as I was reading down your list, and folks, you're going to hear this in the far-flung future. We're recording this in August of 2025, but you're probably going to hear this close to middle of September, most likely, just to be honest with you, because we pre-record everything around here. That's just the way I roll. But so when I was reading down your list, and I was like, oh, that's interesting how he came up with that choice. I see he's wrestling with himself about 1984, because 1984 was a bloodbath in film. How would I approach that TV-wise? Interesting. And folks, I want to say again, just like we said with the movie version of this, anything you can watch on the screen, live action, animation, doesn't matter. We're not discounting anything. We're not separating it out. Normally we would. Normally for me, when I think of television, I think live action. I don't normally think it. Normally I'm the one separating out the cartoons.
You know, I was thinking about, because that came up. I asked you about that. Yeah. But, like, what about South Park? What about, like, Simpsons? Which are, like, or King of the Hill? You know, primetime shows to be watched as, quote, normal TV shows. And, you know,
yep. And I said anything you can watch on the boob tube is canon. So whatever works.
I only have one thing that I'm a little sketchy about.
Okay.
But I will make the argument when the time comes.
It's
just the way the new media works. I think the rules are slightly different, because it's more like the way streaming works is more like the British model. Where, like, they don't do seasons, they do what they call series. Series? It's not like, so like every series it can be its own thing in a weird way.
Yes.
Whereas where American TV show, it's like one long story.
Yep.
Where like with Blackadder, you know, each Blackadder is its own thing.
Right. Whereas, like, the Blacklist is 6 seasons of one show.
Yeah.
Instead of 6 seasons of 6 separate stories. Yeah. It's crazy. It's just crazy. And as a reminder, if you didn't listen to the movie episodes, first of all, go back and listen to the movie episodes. Episode 166. No. Episode 167, 68, and I believe 69. I believe I had my first guest on for the movies from episode 169. So we did that. But the rules are as follows. These lists are inherently subjective. They are not the best TV shows of each year, but are favorites, and therefore no choice can be wrong, quote unquote. Eye rolling is, however, allowed.
Quiet eye rolling.
Yes, quiet eye rolling.
Which I violated several times during your list. I apologize.
Yes, hey, it's okay. Hey, there's a line I use. I forget where I got it from. I got it probably from some movie. My eyes rolled so loud or so hard it was audible across the room. So, trust me, I understand the eye rolling. More a personal thing, but in many cases we define quote unquote favorite as TV show we'd most like to watch. Rule number 3, you have to have seen the TV show, but do not have to have actually seen it the year it was released. And you can only pick one TV show each year, 1984, and you must pick one TV show for every year, 2006, as examples. So those are the 4 rules. There are no other rules other than that. Starting with 1980, the year I was born, I don't know. Like, I was born that year. I wasn't watching TV.
Again,
I know.
This come up multiple times. Like your whole thing about Tron was, I saw it in 2010.
Yeah, exactly. I know, but that's the point, though. But it's one of those things where, so I have 3 choices here, and I only picked what I picked because, partly because people always give me a hard time for this character, and I feel like I always have to defend this character. But the other choices I also did watch as well. So the 2 choices that I did not pick, Richie Rich. I don't know what it is about that cartoon. I grew up like that cartoon along with Jabberjaw, and I think it was not Heathcliff. There was one other one. Might have been Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels. I don't know. 3 of those were in like some cartoon block somewhere in the 80s in syndication. And I watched those all the time. And I always just remember Richie Rich and Gloria and Cadbury, the butler, and the dog and the whatever. The other choice that I
believe he was a Dalmatian.
Yes, he was. That's right. That's right. Dollar. I remember Dollar. Yep. The other one I did not choose because I remember watching it barely, but I remember it more so for who was in it, even though I don't have the Wikipedia article pulled up. But Bosom Buddies came out in 1980.
Yeah, I watched that. Steve Scolari and Tom Hanks.
Yep.
Boy, you ain't seen nothing yet. Make way for Scrappy-Doo.
But what I chose was Scooby and Scrappy-Doo because as a kid, and even as an adult, so when I was born in 1980, I was born, and I've said this before on this podcast and other shows and whatever, so this isn't a secret. This isn't me revealing too much of my own life. I've been doing this for 17 years, folks. If you don't know by now, you have never listened to any of the podcasts I've done. I was born with a mild case of cerebral palsy. In the last 8.5 years or so, I found out I was also born without a piece of my brain. I do not have the corpus callosum, which divides the left and right brain hemispheres. So instead of having the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, I have the entirety of Lake Michigan in my head. It's one giant thing. So, yeah. And because of the cerebral palsy, and because it was the 80s, and because thankfully I didn't grow up in the internet age, I can only imagine any child these days growing up and having a disability of any kind.
Oh, that's Chris Chan. Like, it's sad.
But like, I got made fun of a lot, and I got put down a lot, and that's why I usually end up putting myself down a lot, and why I have a negative self-worth most of the time. Like, most of the time you'll hear me put myself down before I put anybody else down. I will put myself down before I insult anybody, unless I'm trying to be funny about it. You know, kind of like,
yeah, I get it.
Like, if you sit here and tell me something personal about yourself, and then something happens 3 months from now, it's like, oh, I'm the worst ever, blah, blah, blah. I'll say something about me first before I use whatever you told me about you again. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do that because that's so. As a kid, seeing that was the whole point of Scrappy. The whole point of Shaggy and Scooby is they're fraidy dogs, they're fraidy cats. They run away from the danger. They were the cowards. That was the whole point of them. The whole point of Scrappy when he was introduced was da-da-da-da-da, puppy power. Whole point of him was to show people, children in the 80s, not just to run into the danger, but to face your fear, to face the thing that Scooby would never face. That was the whole point of the little nephew that could, the little nephew that was so positive and whatever, even though Scooby would end up just scooping him up and running away anyway half the time. And he's like, oh, come on, Uncle Scoob, let me at him. Let me at him. I just love Scooby and Scrappy. So that's my choice for 1980.
Well, Nurse Janice, who's the next patient?
We'll see for yourself, Dr. Bob.
Oh, it's Kermit! My Kermit! Oh,
All right, take it easy. I'm okay.
Quiet, this is a very dramatic moment. Kermit, I shall nurse you back to health if it takes a lifetime.
What do you think's wrong with him, Dr. Bob?
Well, for one thing, he's been badly exposed to overacting.
1981, there is only one choice. The Muppet Show. I believe it was the last... What?
Muppet Show started. I thought the deal with the TV shows when you had to pick the year it started. Whatever. Because I also picked the Muppet Show, and I'm pretty sure it was not 1981.
No, I think it was the year it ended. So that was, we didn't really get to talk about this. I should have talked to you about this beforehand. As I was making this
1976 is when it started.
76 to 81, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So the way I looked through this and made my list, yes, you are absolutely correct. I did do my best to get the year that the show started. However, because most of the stuff I saw as a kid, that like by the time I saw the stuff, it was already in syndication. So I didn't know that it debuted in 76.
You're missing the whole point of the exercise by doing that.
I understand that.
Because you're supposed to be picking it from, like, the whole thing is it's supposed to represent the year that it came out, which is why I had issues about doing TV shows. But like, it's supposed to be, it's a product of its time as opposed to
right. And the product of its time as it ended was changing. That's you'll see. This is why I did this. So because the Muppet Show ended in 81. Is a product of its time compared to the rest of the list as the 80s progresses, because my TV watching habits changed throughout the 80s and into the 90s. It's a very interesting change. The Muppet Show, because there was nothing else listed in 81 that started in 81 that I was like, oh my God, this reflects my life, or oh my God, this is my favorite. Literally, what? Go ahead, say it.
It's not supposed to reflect your life. It's supposed to be a show that you saw at some point and liked.
Exactly.
And liked better than all the other shows you saw that came from 1981.
I know. There were none on the list. I looked at the list. I have here, look. I will pull up the Wikipedia article right now.
Well, I look, it's your list. You do what you want.
Where is
that? I did. So
where did I put that? Hold on, let me pull it up.
I mean, all of mine actually premiere the year that I picked them.
Where did I put that?
I like structure.
I like structure too, but you know, things have to end sometimes.
Yeah, but that's a different. That would be a weird and interesting list, and probably more of a huge pain in the ass to try to put together. But doing like the year it ended as a list would be interesting, because I do think it says something like because 1981 was a different time than 1976,
right?
A way different. Like you had the entire freaking Carter administration, which like America changed.
Yeah. Okay,
but
so
I think the Muppet Show was a very kind of hippy dippy. The Muppet, like, I mean, I don't want to go too far into it, because at some point you're planning on doing a thing about the Muppets. Which
yes,
I feel like that would be time to talk about this. But the Muppets are a fascinating time capsule of a time and place and attitude, because like Jim Henson never meant for them to be a kid thing, even though even though the Muppets really started on Sesame Street. Like it was never, and I think that's why they endure.
Yes,
because you can love them as a because there are things on my list that it's like I like that as a kid, and there's nothing else that I saw from that year that I liked. But if I went back and watched it now, in fact, I know there's one on my list, ironically 1980s choice, where I tried to go back and watch it as an adult. But it was literally like, well, I love this as a kid, and there's nothing else I like better. Mm-hmm. Like, the Muppet Show had a very... I mean, the first episode of the Muppet Show was sex and violence.
Yes, it was.
Like, yeah, so...
okay.
1982.
No. I
mean, you're going to do a whole thing. I might be there for it. I don't know. But this is a conversation for the episode on the Muppets.
I know it is, but I want to tell you why I picked. So again, look, this is 45 years of this is my entire life of television that I've watched. And I
know. I did the same thing, remember?
I know. This is why we put the work into this. I looked through all 45 years of Wikipedia articles. And I just want to run through this really quickly. Debuting in 81. Dynasty, Hill Street Blues, Harper Valley PTA, Nero Wolf, Walking Tall, The Gangster Chronicles, Brady Brides. No one gives a crap about the Brady Brides. Checking In, SCTV Network 90, Comedy Theater. Funny. Best of the West. More. Yeah, that's a Canadian thing. I'm not Canadian.
I know.
Laverne and Shirley
in the Army. From the horror.
Battle Stars, Love Sydney, Give Me a Break. Now, Give Me a Break, I might have chosen if I had seen more of it, because I do remember watching that show, but I don't remember.
I did too. I watched it a lot back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Shannon, Strike Force, This Week, McLean's Law, Simon and Simon, which I do remember barely.
I remember that too. Yeah.
Dark Room, Open All Night, Brett Maverick. Yes, I know it's Maverick, but again, I didn't really watch that much. Falcon Crest, and You Can't Do That on Television. Those are the debuts in 1981.
There was one that you didn't mention.
Which was?
I'm not going to tell you because it's my list. It's on my list.
Okay, good.
So I know.
Okay, good. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, good. So those were my choices to pick from of debuts.
SDTV, John Candy, Eugene Levy. Oh my God.
I didn't
even realize. I didn't even notice that one. But
May 16th of 81.
I'm gonna have to seriously think about changing mine.
And again, this is why on my list, this is why I offer choices that I didn't choose before telling people what I actually chose, so we can have a conversation like we've been having here. So the Muppet Show for me, like you said, I'm not gonna talk too much about this, but that was my choice because I remember that alongside Muppet Babies. I remember seeing those things in syndication from the time I was 5 years old in 85 all the way till I was 10 in 1990. I remember
there's a lot of things that I saw in reruns.
All of it. Yeah, absolutely.
That premiered before I was born and I didn't pick them. Because the whole point is to pick the year. Again, it's your list. You do what you want. Whatever. You do what you want.
As I just said, there was nothing in if Knight Rider had debuted in 81, if the A-Team had debuted in 81, if anything else that I actually enjoyed, that I actually wanted to be a favorite from that year, Muppet Show is my favorite for that year, the year that it ended, unfortunately. 1982.
One man can make a difference, Mike.
There are no other choices. I didn't even have to look. I don't even think I looked at the 1982 article on Wikipedia. I didn't even have to look. I just wrote it down and put it. Once I put my choice in red, it's selected. I've got a picture with the man. I've got a picture of myself sitting in the damn car at the 1986 Boston Budweiser Expo. It's Knight Rider. My life revolves around multiple franchises, but basically two major franchises in my life, Knight Rider and Transformers. Knight Rider is the number one live action television series of my childhood. It always has been. It always will be. I live, breathe, sleep this show. I need to get the new 4K DVD complete series release that they just released. I haven't been able to get it just yet. It just came out a couple months ago by the time this releases, but I need to get that. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news in the middle of this episode. This is editor TFG1Mike, and we are talking about Knight Rider, my 1982 choice in the TV choices of my life and everything else. Well, I have gotten the 4K release of the Knight Rider set. I have not cracked it open yet, but I have now gotten that set since recording this episode of the podcast. So hopefully a future discussion will happen about that, maybe over on Beyond the Night, our Knight Rider podcast. Now, back to Studio 2009 and myself, along with David Draper, talking about the TV choices of me, TFG1Mike. Keep your scanners peeled. But this show, it just hit at a certain time, and in the 80s, everything was action television. Between this, the A-Team, Airwolf, those three shows, just absolutely love them. And David Hasselhoff as Michael Knight. Everyone's like, oh, but he's Mitch Buchanan from Bay. He was Michael Knight before he was shirtless on Baywatch, surrounded by babes.
I will absolutely 100% back you on that one.
I don't mind Mitch Buchanan and all that on Baywatch and everything else, but that was the 90s. This is the 80s. That jacket, I've wanted that jacket my whole life.
Jacket was cool.
Oh God. And
I wish I had the hair.
We all wish we had the hair. I think it was 83, because by the time I was in kindergarten in 85, oh God, I'll never forget this guy. I think it was 83. Kenner released the voice car.
Yeah, I've got it.
Press the license plate.
Yeah.
And it says various clips. It says
Jason actually fixed it for me, so it works now. So.
Yay! Well, in 1985, when I was in kindergarten, one of the other kindergartners that used to be a friend at the time, Brian Reed, and I think it was Brian spelled with a Y, and anyone who spells their
Brian
with a Y is a villain. He would not even let me look at it, wouldn't even let me, I understand not letting people touch your toys, but literally wouldn't even let me look at it, wouldn't dude, come on, whatever. Anyway. But no, I've watched this show over and over again. We have I wrote up a whole blog series called Beyond the Night back in early 2010, which then created a whole podcast where we reviewed every single episode of the show, including the 1991 reunion film, including the 2008 reboot, technically continuation series. Knight Rider is everything to me, so that's the 82 choice. 83, there are a couple of runner-ups. I remember really loving Fraggle Rock as a kid.
If I may jump in, Fraggle Rock was one that came to actually a lot, because I didn't have HBO. I had HBO for a year, then I had, and then we didn't have HBO until much later. But I got into Fraggle Rock a little bit later, and I really got into it for a little bit, because it's the damn Muppet.
It's a good show.
It's a good show.
Yeah, it's a good show. I don't know. I always liked Fraggle Rock because it was more of. It was like when I say it was like this, it wasn't technically literally like this, but it was kind of like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood without the, No, okay.
As a child who grew up with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, no.
Okay, but what I mean is. Technically, yes, no, you're right. It's not. What I mean is, it's a guy who goes into a place who doesn't know that there are these things in this,
But Rogers does know.
I know, but right, okay, I know.
So it's completely different. It's like the polar opposite of Mr. Rogers. Rogers knows that this magical world exists that he goes into, whereas Doc,
right?
Doc doesn't know.
Yeah. Doc doesn't know, right? But my point is, where I see them as, fuck,
The shows for children.
I actually wanted to go to Fraggle Rock. I never wanted to go to the land of make believe because I'm sorry, Lady Elaine is just. Ugh. Ugh.
You don't have to date Lady. First of all, I think she's already married.
Worst creepy. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about. Oh, I'm talking. Look, you can put every horrific fake shark in front of me, and fine, I don't care. Whatever. You can put Frankenstein, the Mummy, Dracula. Fine, okay, I'll be a little bit scared. You put Lady Elaine in front of me, I'm running down the damn street. That lady is scary as hell. Ugh. Anyway, Fraggle Rock. Absolutely loved it. I loved the adventures. I loved Gobo. He was always my favorite.
Uber was my favorite.
Yep.
I guess. I have to do laundry.
Oh, boy.
That's not even your choice.
No, I know.
That's one of the runner-ups.
I know. It's one of the runner-ups. And I'm sure people would think that this would be my choice. And again, normally it would be if the actual choice didn't come out this year. But the other runner-up is it's the He-Mans, folks. And I use that because Dave's here. The He-Mans.
A motley group of gnomes.
But Skeletor, it was He-Man who was...
He-Man? Always He-Man.
But He-Man and the Masters of the Universe came out in 83. Again, we've done a whole podcast series, Powers of Grayskull series here on the network for that. We did that for years and years and years. We probably should get back to it at some point and cover the new Netflix stuff that they've done, but we're not doing that anytime soon. But yeah, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe ran from 83 to 85, had a whole movie with his sister, kind of like Star Wars, kind of sort of replicated it, all that stuff. But the choice is... in 1972, I can't even finish the whole thing.
In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
It's the A-Team, folks. I fucking love the A-Team. Oh, man. These guys, these four guys, just like everybody loves MacGyver. Everybody loves the Fall Guy. Everybody loves MacGyver for everything he can do and all the magic he can do as one guy and everything else and all that. The A-Team, they are four guys who basically pull off the impossible and still get away with it. Oh man!
At its best, the A-Team was they had an element that was a slightly less cerebral MacGyver. Because MacGyver always used science to do this shit, but like they built every episode, like the best episodes. Like it's been a while, but like the best episodes where they would build some ridiculous contraption at the end of the episode, which were the best episodes.
Yep,
like the cabbage slinger is my favorite.
Yes,
only one person got shot every episode. Only one person got shot at the very beginning, and then 2 million rounds of ammo would be fired. No one would get hit.
But instead of picking on you guys individually, I came up with something very special. Something you all get a real kick out of.
Oh, gee, I can hardly wait.
Since I'm tired of you guys knocking me out, drugging me, and tying me down, making me to fly, and you all know I hate to fly, I've decided to go back home to America by boat, and you all get a chance to go on the boat with me.
Well, if that's what you want, B.A.
And since it's against the law for Valencian freighters to accept passengers, we're going to have to work off the passage.
Work it off?
Yes. I'm in charge of the workforce, and you guys are in charge of the workload, which includes swabbing the deck, working in the boiler room, and painting the entire ship.
B.A., this is negotiable.
You did all your negotiating on the plane. Now it's time for you to start working on the boat. And if anyone don't like that, you can step into my office right here, right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But the A-Team absolutely loved it. George Peppard as Hannibal.
Hannibal.
D.A.
Baracus, Howard Murdoch, and Templeton Peck as Face.
As Face. Yep. Absolutely love them. Mr. T, like Mr. T. as B.A. Baracus. Just like, I pity the fool. And B.A. and Murdoch, oh man, they always had such great scenes together. The two of those two characters, best characters in action TV if you wanted a comedy part. Because they just, oh man, it was so cool. 1984 is a bloodbath in television.
You mentioned that.
And I chose the show that made me hallucinate and think I saw the helicopter all the time as a kid. But we're not talking about the choice yet. So the shows that I saw and loved the most all the time, Danger Mouse. Danger Mouse was a British thing.
Danger Mouse was good. Yeah,
love Danger Mouse. Night Court. Yep. Night Court.
I love Penfold. Night Court. Yeah. Night Court's a good one.
Yep. Voltron, Defender of the Universe. I always liked Snorks. I like the Smurfs. The Smurfs are fine, but I liked Snorks more than Smurfs because it's Michael Bell is All-Star as the head Snork, and it's basically Smurfs underwater kind of thing. I always thought that was a little bit more interesting as a kid.
More high concept.
Yeah, as I mentioned, the Muppet Babies. You got Who's the Boss? You got Charles in Charge. And you know what, folks? If you don't want to hear about this, you can fast forward the show for about 10 minutes. But 1984 gave I got to talk about this. The Cosby Show.
Mom? Yes. I'm not going to law school.
What?
I decided not to go to law school.
What do you mean you decided not to go to law school?
Well, this is our dream, and so I'm going to get a temporary job until the wilderness store opens, and then I'll be working side by side with my husband.
Sandra, what are you saying? You have always wanted to go to law school. You've never talked about anything else.
I changed my mind.
Change it back. After all the money we spent sending you to Princeton? Sandra, you owe us $79,648.22, and I want my money now. I'm not going anywhere till I get my money. I'll take whatever she's got. Empty her pockets. I want to know now. No, I'm not having this. No.
Well, really, both of us, we have to be calm.
You calm down. If Elvin thinks that he is going to come in here and drag my baby off into some harebrained business scheme and ruin what is potentially the greatest legal mind of this century, he's going to have me to deal with. And then he can come to you for treatment.
I was raised where television was fiction. I was raised to watch TV and look at the characters that were on the screen. I was not raised to follow the actors after they left the screen. We didn't have tabloids when I was growing.
Oh, we absolutely had tabloids back.
Okay.
But we didn't read them because we were kids.
Right, we didn't read them.
National Enquirer has been around forever.
Okay, yes, National Enquirer's been around forever. But my point is, between the 80s and the 90s, like tabloids.
I think the point you're trying to make is nobody knew. We. Yeah, this was a very well kept secret that nobody heard about until it blew up, like in the 2000s.
Yeah, exactly.
Cosby was a beloved figure. That's why that was such a big deal. Is he was a beloved paternal figure.
And the thing of it now is, and I think the reason why it has nothing to do with him anymore. It has to do with everybody else that was on that show, and it has to do with the fact that, again, as of this recording, August 1st, 2025, we just lost Malcolm Jamal Warner, and every other reel on my Facebook and Instagram timeline is clips of his character, Theo, on The Cosby Show, because obviously we just lost Malcolm Jamal Warner. And the show itself, the writing, the characters, that's what I grew up with. That's what I grew up loving. And at some point, and I said this to you in some long diatribe in our text chat, I said, at some point, I'm going to find a way to figure out how to cover The Cosby Show on this podcast, because I like The Cosby. The more clips I see, like literally this morning, I just watched the Gordon Gartrell clip of the shirt no son of mine is going to have a $95 shirt, blah, 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 blah. And then Denise goes and tries to sew him up the shirt, and the sleeves are the wrong size, and it looks like crap, and he's trying to impress this girl, and I'd forgotten what happens in that episode. Basically, it's like at the end of it, he's like, "Oh, son, I didn't take the shirt back yet. It's upstairs on my bed. Go get the real shirt." Except Theo doesn't walk up the back steps in the kitchen. He walks out into the living room where the girl and everybody else is, and they end up seeing him in the shirt that Denise tried to sew up for him. I love the Cosby Show. I love that work of fiction. Always have. However, my choice is Airwolf.
This briefing is from file A56-7W, classified top secret. Subject is Airwolf, a Mach 1 Plus attack helicopter with the most advanced weapons system in the air today. It has been hidden somewhere in the western United States by its test pilot, Stringfellow Hawk. Hawk has promised to return Airwolf only if we can find his brother Sinjin, an MIA in Vietnam. We suspect that Archangel, deputy director of the agency that built Airwolf, is secretly helping Hawk in return for Hawk's flying Airwolf on missions of national concern. Stringfellow Hawk is 34, a brilliant combat pilot and a recluse since his brother's disappearance. His only friend is Dominic Santini, whose air service is the cover for their government work. With Hawk and Santini flying as a team at speeds rivaling the fastest jets backed by unmatched firepower, Airwolf is too dangerous to be left in unenlightened hands. Finding it is your first priority.
Because, as I said earlier, as a kid, by the time I was 9, 10, 11 years old, 89 to 91, there were times where I was hanging out at my cousin's house and they had this giant swing set. And if you're standing in front of the swing set and you're looking back behind their house, it was like this giant group of trees. I used to hallucinate seeing the helicopter come across those trees. I don't know what the hell I was going on. I don't know what it was. The hell was going on with me up in Massachusetts back then. But Airwolf, it's the late great Ernest Borgnine and the late great Jan Michael Vincent as Dominic Santini with Borgnine and Stringfellow Hawk, Jan Michael Vincent. They work for the firm. This is a secret government program type thing, and they run missions in Airwolf. And I always forget how Airwolf begins. So every time I see the pilot, I like, oh yeah, right. This foreign whatever guy built this helicopter and he wants it and this, that, and the other thing. And they go in and steal it and keep it away from him and everything else. And I just love that show for like, I think it's the only show. I'm pretty sure I'm safe in saying this. It is the only television show that I know that actively uses a helicopter as the main vehicular character.
Blue Thunder.
Blue Thunder? When did Blue Thunder come out?
About the same time. Like there was the movie first, and I think there was a really short-lived TV show for it. Okay. But, like, you don't see helicopter TV shows today. Like, in the last 20 years, 30 years, like, since the 90s. Like, after this show, they weren't doing this kind of thing, is kind of my point. I mean, they had a helicopter in Riptide, and they had a helicopter. It wasn't a huge I'm not going to say it was the focus. There was a helicopter in Magnum P.I. Rick had the helicopter.
There's helicopters.
And in Riptide, the helicopter was really important. It was a big pink Vietnam era.
Flamingo.
Oh, it was a big pink Vietnam era transport copter with a shark face painted on it.
Very cool, very cool. So yeah, 1984, Airwolf is the choice. 85 was another bloodbath. You had I thought this show was older, but you had the Golden Girls debuting in 85. I thought that it debuted at least 2 or 3 years before that, but the Golden Girls
debuted after that. I was surprised it debuted as early as it did.
Yeah, Golden Girls was 85, 227. So you had 227 and the Golden Girls in the same year. So they are both celebrating their 40th anniversaries this year. I loved both of those shows. I remember watching both of them with my grandmother. 227, I mean... Jack A. Oh, Jack A. Oh, gotta love Jack A. Harry. For animation, we had the Wuzzles. Not a lot of people are going to remember the Wuzzles. I'm sure you remember them. You're probably cringe.
That's because my best friend collects stupid 80s detritus.
That's right. Good old Jason. Mask, Thundercats, Gem and the Holograms, and the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo.
The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo
are the other choices, and the choice goes to the very underrated and very even though it has a large fan base, I don't hear a lot of fans talking about it. Gem and the Holograms.
Hi, this is Christy Marks, the writer of Gem and the Holograms and Beast Wars, and you're listening to Geekcast Radio Network.
People will say and scream their heads off, but Mike, it's a girl's cartoon. No, it wasn't. It was a cartoon for everybody. It was a cartoon with women in it for the leads. That was an action cartoon. This isn't Barbie just sitting at her makeup table. This is a cartoon about a woman Jerrica Benton, who lost her father, who is trying to figure it all out, who is faced up against Eric Raymond, who is this sleazy music producer guy who's trying to tell her the wrong thing, and she finds this supercomputer synthesizer synergy thing that turns her into Gem and turns her friends and her sister into the holograms. And they go on super music stuff, and they're able to help out the I think the orphanage or Starlight House is they were orphans, and Starlight House was the orphanage. In order to keep the orphanage open, they had to go on the But Gem and the Holograms, I absolutely love that show. It's so good. And don't get me wrong, I love Thundercats and I love Mask too. But Gem just it's truly outrageous.
In my headcanon,
yeah,
like in my elaborate like G.I. Joe thing that I wrote in my head, 100 issues. Her father was killed by Zartan. He stole the technology, and that's why he had like a hologram technology as opposed to being like Mystique.
Yep. There you go. 86 has a couple of runners up, but I won't spend too much time on them. Silverhawks only got one season, but Silverhawks was a pretty cool animated series. I had a few of the toys as a kid. Pee-wee's Playhouse, the man's resting in peace. Pee-wee's Playhouse debuted that year. And then it's Balky and his cousin Larry, Perfect Strangers, debuted that year as well. But the winner is that alien life form. You gotta love Alf.
Has anybody seen the yellow ribbon?
I don't know. What color is it? Ha! Yeah! Kill me.
Look, would you hold this wire while I turn on the juice?
Sure.
Right there.
You know, that's my shortwave radio. Do you know how long Long. It took me 10 years to put that thing together.
I'm glad to see you haven't wasted your life.
First the phone, and now the radio.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What about the phone?
You're on it all the time.
Fine. First I can't use the radio. Now I can't use the phone. What next? The curling iron? Your toothbrush?
You use my toothbrush?
Yours is the green one, right?
It was.
I think you should leave this for a qualified repairman.
Well, Mr. Smarty.
It's Mr. Science.
For your information, I've located the problem. There's no power going into the high voltage transformer.
Hey, you want power?
That would help.
Your call.
This is another defining show for me because I literally I think he's no longer with us. I'll have to do some research on this, but the kid, Benji Gregory, that plays Brian in this show, as a kid, as a 6, 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old, because Alf only lasted 4 seasons from 86 to 90. I saw myself as Brian when I was watching the show every time because I wanted to be Alf's friend. Just because I thought Alf was cool as hell all the time. And I know all about him trying to get back to Melmac and everything else. And
then the government got him and dissected him.
Yep.
It has the most depressing ending of any series ever.
I know, right?
Except for dinosaurs.
Oh, no. Dinosaurs. Damn it, dinosaurs.
They all died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately. But yes, unfortunately, Benji Gregory passed away just last year. Wow. He was 46 years old. And I know that Max Wright has been gone for a while now. He died in 2019. Played Willie Tanner, the father of the series. Well, I just want to give the audience some clarification. But no, Alf, everything that puppet did. Paul Fusco as the voice of Alf, just absolutely love the voice. I forget which season it is, but there's one of the seasons where the intro or one of the episodes is him singing to Bob Seger's Old Time Rock and Roll. Oh my God.
that was Easy Money. Or not what is it? It's a Tom Cruise movie, but like it's a parody of that.
It's it's the Pool Shark one.
No, it's not the Pool Shark one. It's the one where he becomes a pimp. Oh God, what was it called?
Color of Money?
No.
Oh. What is it?
Risky Business.
Anyway, Risky Business, that's what it is.
It's a famous scene where he's in his underwear and he's sliding on the hardwood floors.
Yep. But absolutely
I remember Isaac Asimov, of all people, wrote a review of Alf for TV Guide.
Oh no!
And he actually thought it was a good show.
Mm-hmm.
What he liked about it was that Alf's plumbing in his spaceship was made out of gold. Because if gold is the whole reason gold's valuable is because it's rare.
Yep.
And on Alf's planet, it wasn't rare, so they used it for plumbing. And he thought that was a very kind of science fiction thing, that on another planet gold wouldn't be valuable. It would just be commonplace. If So that was I remember reading that and like, wow, this is interesting. So.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, ha, you killed me, or no problem. Like, oh God, just everything Alf. I had the Alf doll as a kid, the Alf talking doll. I had so many Alf. I had so much Alf stuff. I could, and technically I kind of sort of have, but I could stop purchasing. And like I said, I haven't bought a Funko Pop in a while because I just haven't had the time or the finances to do so. There are plenty that I still need to get. But if Funko ever made a Funko Pop Alf, and they have not yet as of this recording.
That's weird.
As long that they haven't made it yet.
Yeah, because they've made everything else.
I know, right? Like if they made Alf and I had the Alf, like that would practically make my collection complete. But yeah, Alf is the 86 choice. On to 87. 87, man. Another bloodbath. You got Unsolved Mysteries. We're entering the age of this TV thing of Inside Edition, even though Inside Edition came out in a different year, but hard copy and that kind of stuff. So you got Unsolved Mysteries, hard copy, Married with Children, Full House, Star Trek, The Next Generation, DuckTales, My Two Dads, Concentration / Classic Concentration. Those are the runners-up.
Please enter program.
The android at the bar said you could show me my old ship. Let me see it.
Insufficient data. Please specify parameters.
The Enterprise. Show me the bridge of the Enterprise, you chattering piece of...
There have been 5 Federation ships with that name. Please specify by registry number.
NCC 1701. No bloody A, B, C, or D.
Program complete. Enter when ready.
Because those, while I enjoyed watching most of those, hard copy, whatever, those are not the choice because those are not like so for animation, it moves from, even though technically Transformers didn't end until 1987. I mean, after that movie in 86, how do you follow that up? I mean, technically you follow it up technically you follow it up with the Five Faces of Darkness, but franchise-wise, how do you follow that up? You know, you find a human.
They gave Rodimus a chance. He failed miserably, so they brought back Optimus.
Yeah,
Headmaster.
How do you follow that up? You find a guy who's living in Japan who fails and gets banished to America, and the Foot track him down and pour a bunch of mutagen down a sewer. And man, there wasn't nothing like getting those video cassettes from Burger King. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And the next year getting the toy. Oh my God. We were getting those toys for like $5-10 when they first came out. Oh my God. But that show.
Hey guys, Raphael here, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Did you say podcast? Dudes, dudettes, you're listening to the podcast on the Geekcast Radio Network. Cowabunga!
Tonight I dine on turtle soup.
Those first 5 episodes, David Wise, I know you're up there. Resting in peace, sir. But we got a chance to interview David Wise in 2010. Just, those first 5 episodes are just so good. TMNT, the 87 choice. 88, there are only 3. There are only 3 runners up. Garfield and Friends. I loved Garfield and Friends. It was basically the comic strip come to life when it came to Garfield. The and Friends part was a lot more like Garfield, Odie, Nermal, and John. Okay, cool. They can all have
that was his original comic strip, U.S. Acres.
Yeah, and then U.S. Acres.
Yeah.
Yep. U.S. Acres with Orson and Roy and whatever the other names of the characters were that I don't have in front of me. I liked that. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was fun. And I mean, Lorenzo Music is the voice of Garfield. I mean, that was just amazing. That was so cool.
Smart kids watch this show. Other kids change the channel.
Cops, not the live action version. This is the Central Organization
Crime in a
of
Future
Police
Time.
Specialists. Yes, Fighting Crime in a Future Time. That's right. Which later they would have to actually change the name to Cyber Cops to not confuse people with the live action show.
Cops, Central Organization of Police Specialists. Fighting crime in a future time.
Yeah, they had to change the name to Cyber Cops. And then I think second, I need to take that back. Second television show I ever saw Judd Hirsch in. The first one was Taxi. This one was Dear John. But the choice for 1988
Dear John
is none other than, you're going to see a trend here, folks. Not often, but you're going to see a trend here. A pup named Scooby-Doo.
If we're going to catch that monster in the act, we're going to have to go inside Scooby's doghouse.
Will you go inside for a Scooby snack? 2 Scooby snacks? All right, 3. But that is my final offer.
I love this show. This show puts all of the classic 60s versions of these characters and Freddy is ramped up beyond belief. And
Freddy had a character finally.
Well, yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And I love the running joke about red herring.
Red herring. Yep. I was
the one that he did it was the one time that Fred had to was trying to break his habit of always accusing him. But it was the one time he didn't accuse Red Herring, and Red Herring was the guy who did it.
Was he? Yeah, he actually did it. Yeah, it's so cool. So yeah, that's 1988. 1989. I only mention this because this is the year this debuted, even though it's not my choice. So that's why I'm mentioning it. But I wouldn't actually see this until 1994. In 1994, I was in the hospital for, I don't know, either a couple of days or a week, I forget. I was in the hospital because they were trying to move the pronator around in my right arm, which my right arm is the one with the cerebral palsy. They were trying to move the pronator around to see if I could get more range of motion and actually be able to use my cerebral palsy arm. It didn't work, unfortunately. But that's when I first found out about when I was 14 years old compared to when I was 9 years old in 1989. I found out all about USA Up All Night on the USA Network. This was the late night. You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. I forget who she was, but one of the hostesses was always up all night.
All night. That's right. That's right. On the complete opposite end of that naughtiness, we have McGee and Me. This is not my choice. These are just the selections.
I've literally never heard of that.
So McGee and Me is kind of it's not really religious, but it's a series of videos and show. It's a TV show thing, but I found them on video cassette. My cousins had them. There was an episode called Skate Expectations that has a song by somebody that I absolutely love. Whatever. So there's that. But also in '89, we had more as it progressed, but this was the year that Captain N the Game Master and Super Mario Brothers Super Show debuted. And then we had Coach and we had The Simpsons. Now, I wouldn't actually get to see The Simpsons until a year and a half later, because in either 89 or 90, I was with my dad and stepmother, and we were at one of their friends' houses or one of their relatives. I think it might have been her brother's house or something. The Simpsons came on Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, yada, yada, yada. Somebody on The Simpsons said a bad word or something. Oh my God, you can't watch that, blah, 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 blah. And I was forbade by my dad and my stepmother at the time. So luckily he's not married to her anymore. He hadn't been married to her since 2006, thank God. But yeah, I was not allowed to watch The Simpsons, at least from that side of the family. Obviously, my mom didn't care because my mom knew better. So yeah, late 90 into 91, 92, 93, it was all Simpsons mania, fever, whatever. But my choice for 89, because it affected me so much because I so wanted to be in the video game, Captain and the Game Master.
Well, what do you know? Game Boy's some kind of weird computer.
Just what we needed. A brain in a box.
Let's get his batteries loaded and check him out. Easy, fella. He won't bite. I don't think.
I am called Game Boy. I am programmed to play games.
Absolutely loved that cartoon. It was so cool. Plus, and that's not counting the fact that I've interviewed Captain N himself as well as King Hippo. So the voice of Captain N is Matt Hill, and the voice of King Hippo was Gary Chalk, who would go on to voice other characters. He would go on to voice Grounder in Sonic the Hedgehog, or Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. He would go on to voice Optimus Primal in Beast Wars, and do a whole bunch. Gary's done a whole bunch of other stuff. But I just absolutely loved Captain N the Game Master in 1989. 1990. Oh boy, this was a tough choice. It was a tough choice because I didn't want to pick just like I know one of the choices. I've seen plenty of the episodes, but what I remember the most about the show and what I love most about the show is the theme song, because the theme song kicks ass. I didn't want to just pick that because of the theme song. I've seen one of these shows so many times that it's, so hip and tragic to love it that it's the 90s and, how whatever. That's great. I wish I could actually find YouTube video clips, good YouTube video clips of this one show that's on here. Anyway, but the choices are a series that has been going on since then with multiple spin-offs and multiple of its own series that will come up later. Law and Order, Dave. Yeah, it has. I'm sorry I'm being so long-winded here. Trying to be dramatic over here. Law and Order debuted in 1990. I would not really catch Law and Order until I think late in 97 or early 98, but it debuted in 90. The one I was mentioning that I would hope to find good video clips of on YouTube is Video Power. Do you remember Video Power?
No.
Okay, Video Power was this, it was kind of like Nick Arcade, but it wasn't. It was this guy who played this character named Johnny something, and they had this animated version called the Power Team, and the Power Team was the idiot from Wizards and Warriors. It was Bigfoot. It was one basketball player, and it was somebody else, and they did all these animated adventures, and it was kind of cool. And then the other one, Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3. Love that. Absolutely love that. The theme song thing was the Tom and Jerry Kids Show. I remember the theme song to that all the time. And then the 90s one that's so 90s is Tiny Toon Adventures. But the choice goes to, because it's the show that I remember the most, and it's the one that I had the action figures for out of all of these, and out of most of these in the 80s. Not most of them, but Captain Planet.
We need help.
You mean...
Exactly. We must do as Gaia advised. We must combine our powers.
Let's do it!
Let our powers combine. Earth.
Fire!
Wind. Water.
Heart! By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet!
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. I wish we had. I don't know how many environmental cartoons we have today, considering how crappy the environment seems to be getting these days. But man, did that cartoon really want to make us actually do something for the environment in 1990? So Captain Planet is the choice for 90. 91, dinosaurs, not the mama. Good old baby Sinclair. Gotta love him.
Froze to death.
That show. Huh?
Froze to death.
Froze to death. Yes, they did.
Speaking of environmental themes.
Yes. At least they didn't get set on fire or get, molten cord.
No, he just froze to death, which is a pretty bad way to die.
Very true. Yeah.
Is that your pick, by the way? Or is that
that's
honorable mention?
No, that's an honorable mention. Clarissa explains it all. Why did I have... Why did I... Oh, that's why, because it was another cheat. Dallas ended in 91, so Dallas, but that's not the pick. Darkwing Duck. I would have picked Darkwing Duck if this TV movie had not debuted in 91. I love Darkwing Duck. Jim Cummings as the voice of Darkwing Duck. You got Terry McGovern as the voice of Launchpad. Just that whole premise. And I know technically it's an offshoot of Batman, and that's fine, but just absolutely loved Darkwing Duck. But the choice is the TV reunion movie, Knight Rider 2000. It's a horrible, it is a horrible TV movie, but it was like, hey, look, Michael and Devin are back together, and there's this whole new plot, and it's the future, and it's supposed to be what we think the future looks like, and it's not really the future, but yeah. But that's the pick. 92, you got, for honorable mentions, you got Nick Arcade. Nick Arcade is the game show on Nickelodeon, for those that don't remember, where you got to pick various things and you got to move this video game character named Mikey between Life Cereal and Nick Arcade. I just can't get a break. Everybody's always controlling me. Kind of like that platypus song in Phineas and Ferb. So Nick Arcade, I thought that was really cool. Batman the Animated Series, Mad About You, and Melrose Place. Oh man, Melrose Place. Jesus, talk about placemats. Oh boy. But yeah, as much as I love Mad About You, as much as I love Paul and Jamie and all that, it's got to go to Batman the Animated Series. It's got to go to Kevin Conroy and all of the other people who voiced characters on that show. Lauren Lester voices Robin. There were multiple people who voiced Batgirl, but I think it was Melissa Gilbert. I know Tara Strong did at one point later on down the line, and I forget who the other one was off the top of my head. You had Bob Hastings as Commissioner Gordon. You had Tim Curry at first. Thank God they didn't stick with that.
It's interesting, though. Have you heard the tape?
Yes and no.
It's interesting. He did. Look. They obviously they got the right guy in the end.
They fixed it, thank God. Look, I love Tim Curry. Don't get me wrong, I do. But Mark Hamill all the way.
Mark Hamill nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you heard it, but when you said Batman the Animated Series, I let out a deep breath. It was like, he doesn't pick this. If he doesn't pick this, I'm violating my own rules, and I'm coming after him.
Yeah.
It's the start of the DC animated universe. It's so good. I mean, Mark Hamill, but also Richard Mall as Two-Face. The whole Two-Face thing was epic.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
And they did it right because nowadays they always rush everything. It's like with Venom and with Two-Face, they always just get right to it. But he was Harvey Dent for the whole first season.
Yeah.
And at the very end, they did the thing, and they just did it. They did it so over the top.
Yep.
I will say that there were two characters that this is the show that brought back Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
Mr. Freeze was killed off in the comic books as a joke. Joker kills him and calls him Captain Cold.
Yep.
This show brought him back like that. Like Heart of Ice.
Heart of Ice,
one of the best TV shows ever written.
Yep.
I will say there are two characters that I think did not do as well as everybody else, that did not get the love, and ironically they were the main characters from the next movie. I don't think Catwoman was done particularly well, even though it was Adrienne Barbeau. I didn't like their take on her, and she never really had a great episode. And then the Penguin, I don't think they did much. They had one great episode with the Penguin, which is the one where he falls in love and he's being manipulated.
Yeah.
The socialites want to have like a criminal crash their party.
Yeah,
that's a great episode. But other than that, he doesn't have a particularly great episode. But everybody else is top notch. Roddy McDowell as the Mad Hatter.
Yes.
Oh, I can't remember his name, but we talked about him we talked about one of the episodes. Was Ra's al Ghul? Wasn't it David Warner as Ra's al Ghul?
Yes, David Warner. Yep.
They had that one. Yep. They had that one that with Jonah Hex in the Old West going up against Ra's al Ghul. Like it's.
Yep.
That show is so good, and like the that whole opening sequence. Like there were times I would just watch the opening sequence.
Yeah.
With the criminals on the rooftop, and Batman comes in, and things blow up, and like just it remains to this day, 30 years later, the iconic Batman story.
Yep. Absolutely. And we are 33 years removed from when that show debuted. Holy crap, it's been 33 years. And again,
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Stop it. Wrong universe.
No. I chose poorly.
Yes, there you go. And again, like, it's just, yeah, it's so good. And it started, and they didn't even know what it was starting, but they eventually figured it out and they tied everything back and just absolutely love it. And Steve and I have had the pleasure and the luck to be able to, even though he's no longer with us, hope I can hold it together for this. But in 2012, we got a chance to interview Kevin Conroy, and that is it's out of all the interviews we've done, it is one of, if not one of, it's one of my favorites, because it's not just because it's him. It's not just because it's the Batman stuff. It's because of the stories that he told. And one of the stories he tells is his experience with 9/11. And it's just so good, folks. Just go back and listen to the Kevin Conroy interview from 2012. We've interviewed Lauren Lester, who plays the voice of Robin. We've interviewed him a couple of times. And it just, Batman the Animated Series, just absolutely great, absolutely wonderful.
This is Kevin Conroy, and I am the goddamn Batman.
Now, I love s'mores as much as the next guy, but I'm fresh out of marshmallows. What do you say we call it a night?
1993. Oh, God. I can't wait until I get to the 2000s and the 2010s, where this is less and less of a bloodbath and an easier choice. Not choices, but options and runners-up include Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Saved by the Bell, The College Years. No. The College Years, not the original show.
That's even worse.
The College Years was only one season, and the only reason why I liked The College Years is, again, because I liked the theme song, which is why it's not a choice, why it's a runner-up. Like, I remember watching The College Years, and it's basically them grown up, kind of tried to be grown up. I remember their RA, the giant hulking Mike guy, more than I remember whatever the hell they were doing on the show. And I remember that theme song more than anything else. Once again, as always, folks, looking at this as fiction, not looking at this as real life. Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, debuted in 93. Absolutely love that show.
Lois, I'm home. I had a train derailment in Canada, an orphanage fire in London, and a dam broke in India. Did you make something for dinner? Oh my gosh! What happened?
Lex Luthor.
The rat.
Where's Lois?
She was here just a second ago.
Probably scared witless, poor thing.
Don't worry. I'll have you out of that thing in no time. Okay, let's see now. Do I disconnect the black wire or the white one?
Don't worry, I'll save you. What do you think?
Oh, no.
What do I think? Lois, I think you got some splaining to do.
Clarky, if we're going to be partners and we're going to be married, I want to be part of the act.
Lois, there are things I do you can do. Me, Superman.
Me, super wife.
Us, super in trouble. Could you hold this argument till later and get us out of here?
I knew this was going to happen. First you know who I am, then you want to fire me, next you're going to fire yourself in the head.
Uh-oh. Eee.
Ay, caramba! You exploded them.
Oh, Clarky, well, I can explain why they exploded.
Ay, ay, ay. Hola.
Clark?
Frasier debuted in 93. Absolutely love Kelsey Grammer and Frasier.
Frasier is my runner-up for 93.
Cool. Very cool, very cool. I don't know how many people, because I don't know a lot of people that actually, I don't think anybody, even besides me, mentioning it here and there, off and on, pretty much off all the time, but this is a runner-up from 93 that debuted. Sequest DSV starred Roy Schneider and late Jonathan Brandis. Jonathan Brandis was a kid back then.
And Darwin the Dolphin.
Yep, Darwin the Dolphin was in it. Yep. Also debuting in 1993, we have a medical drama and a cop drama. We have Diagnosis Murder with I was gonna say the Sloans, but it's Dick Van Dyke and it is both.
And Barry Van Dyke.
Yeah, it's Barry. Yeah, that's why I was thinking. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's the Van Dykes. It's Dick and Barry Van Dyke, as Mark and Steve Sloan, and then the cop action 90s in your face. It's none other than Mr. Chuck Norris as Walker, Texas Ranger. But the choice goes to Boy Meets World, because Boy Meets World was the first time I saw William Daniels in a role other than a talking car.
You never watched St. Elsewhere?
No, because I was too young for St. Elsewhere at the time. I don't ever remember watching St. Elsewhere as a kid anywhere on any television, from my grandmother's to my aunts to my uncles.
It was a 9:00 one, so it would it would have been too late. But yeah, he was every season. He was Dr. Mark Craig. That's where I knew him from before Knight Rider.
Yep.
It was like, hey, that's Dr. Craig. His car.
Yep. But Boy Meets World, Boy Meets World has a interesting history with the Geekcast Radio Network. We do these top 100 countdown things on the network. He says dejectedly,
because I never get past like 50. You ask me to do a list, and it's like I get past 50, and I'm like I haven't even heard of anything past. Like how many cartoons did you people watch? It's amazing.
That's why we provide a list, and we just make you say, "Look, pick off of here." Oh God, that's not worse. That's not worse. Anyway, Boy Meets World has an auspicious history with the Geekcast Radio Network.
Well, I am shocked and dismayed. Well, now you can't be both. You be shocked, I'll be dismayed.
In 2015, we did the top 100 TV series listing, and we did the top 100 TV series podcast. Boy Meets World came in at number 50 out of 100. And Steve Megatron and I were like, wait, what? Only 50? Really? I then proceeded to do podcast planning, and I did up 2 schedules. I said, look, we can do a podcast this way, and it'll take us this many years to do it this way, or we can do it this way, and it'll take us this many years. It still took us the same amount of years it would have taken us if we did it. So the 2 things I did was one sheets of Microsoft Word documents were all 7 seasons, every episode, like 3 or 4 episodes per podcast, would have taken us like 10 years. Or we can do 7 seasons, 7 episodes, blah, blah, blah. It's still taking us 10 years. Like we just finished season 7, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. And it's almost taken us 9 years. Yes.
What came in number 1?
Oh God. Number 1 for the TV shows.
Yeah.
Were we?
I'll go back and check. It would seem like a thing you would know.
Remember.
Number 50, but you'd know number 1. That's
weird.
I
don't. Well, I remember number 50 because we were so just blue. But anyway. Hello, folks. It is I, editor TFG1Mike, breaking into this episode to let you know that I went back to the top 100 TV shows countdown from 2015. Only on the Geekcast Radio Network to find out what was the number 1 show. And it was Saturday Night Live. Live from New York. It's Saturday night. The number 2 show was MASH. So that's all I got. But to answer Dave's question, the number 1 show on our top 100 TV shows countdown, where Boy Meets World was number 50, the number 1 show was Saturday Night Live. Now on with the show. Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll get you the number 1 episode. And you can listen to it later. Anyway, I don't remember what number 1 is, but yeah, Boy Meets World, 7 seasons. Corey Matthews, his whole family. Eric Matthews. You got Ben Savage, Will Friedle. Will Friedle will go on to voice Batman, Terry McGinnis, and Batman Beyond.
You're pretty strong,
for some clown who thinks he's Batman. I am Batman.
Ryder Strong as Sean Hunter. You got William Russ as the father. You got Betsy Randall as the mother. William Daniels as the teacher.
Body a very cool boy. I'd like to have Superman for a dad.
Hey, there's Minkus.
Whoa, the 2000X hydrosaturator.
Careful. If Feeney sees this baby on school grounds, he'll shag it and I'll have to sit out the water war.
Gentlemen, meet the Hydrosat 3000Z. Blow your head clean off.
You got Danielle Fishel as Topanga.
Do you remember the time when we were in my backyard chasing fireflies and you had like 20 in your jar and I had one with a broken bulb? And then Eric came outside and started teasing us.
He said, Corey loves Topanga. You said, yuck, I hate her.
That's when I knew.
Corey, we were only 6.
Who cares?
How could you know then? I'm not even sure I know what I love you means now.
Look, all I know is you and I belong together. I mean, I've always been able to talk to you, to make you laugh. And I've always wanted to take care of you. All right. Topanga, I've been completely honest with you. So, I got my jean jacket, so I'll leave you alone.
So that's what I love you means?
Yeah. Bye.
Corey? I love you too.
I was hoping you did.
Just one of the coolest family-based television series, and like actually teaches you lessons about stuff. Because it basically, for those that don't know, first of all, go over to listen to Podcaster Meets World here on the Geekcast Radio Network. Or if you want to listen to Daniel Fishel, Ryder Strong, and Will Friedle relive them watching their own show, you can listen to their podcast on iHeartMedia. It's Pod Meets World. But basically, it's Corey Matthews, 11-year-old boy. He's coming up in the world. So every season is them growing up. And by the 7th season, they're off to college. So yeah, Boy Meets World is the 93 choice. 1994, not as much as a bloodbath, but it was a tough choice between two. There are 3 runners up. I'm not going to spend too much time because one of these shows I actually want to do season by season at some point on the show. I know you're going to cry wolf on this because it was a movie first and a TV show second, but I only ever saw the TV show.
That doesn't make a difference.
Okay,
also, it's not your choice, apparently. So
no, it's not my choice. But I saw the movie, but I saw the TV show first. And I like the actress in the TV show better than the movie. Weird Science is the TV show. Vanessa Angel played the Lisa.
Kelly LeBrock role.
Kelly LeBrock role, right. And I had gone back after seeing a couple episodes of the TV show, and I watched the movie, because the movie, I think, came out in 83, 84. I was 4 or 5 years old. Yeah, so whatever. That's a runner-up. And then the other runner-up is LA Law. This is the show that I thought of doing multiple season reviews of on, like, after we get through Columbo. I don't know if it'd be with you or whatever, but like, I remember watching LA Law with my mom. It had, the guy.
Richard Dysart.
Richard Dysart.
The guy who did the voice of the Clock King from Batman the Animated Series.
Oh crap, him, yeah.
Jimmy Smits.
Exactly. Jimmy Smits.
Oh god,
yeah,
the guy from Clash of Titans is in it too. Harry Hamlin.
Harry, that's who I was trying to think of. Yeah.
One of the Partridges is Susan Day.
Susan Day, yep. I just loved
Diana Muldaur, who had the best exit of any TV show of all time.
Yep. I just loved LA Law as a kid. Yep.
Yeah, I did too. I watched LA Law.
Yep. So then my two choices for what I was actually going to choose, 1994's basically sort of version of Knight Rider, but not Knight Rider, Viper. Do you remember Viper?
I remember it was a thing that existed.
Viper was.
They actually had a car called. It was like a tie-in with the actual car.
Yeah. It was a Dodge Viper. It was a couple of Dodge Vipers. It was different Dodge Vipers. It was the Dodge Viper. It was the traditional '94 Dodge Viper, red Viper, that transformed into the Defender, which was this ultra super sleek kind of car. And they had to find a driver for it. It starred the late great what was his name? Jeff. I know Jeff Cake took over in later seasons, but Joe. I forget what his name is off the top of my head. Damn it. Anyway, Viper. I love that show at the time, but the choice goes to. And I know I didn't list this. I should have listed this, but I'm glad I didn't because it might have been a bloodbath between Batman and X-Men, but X-Men also debuted in 92. Thankfully, I didn't list X-Men. But the choice goes to 1994 Spider-Man, the animated series.
Also, meh.
What? You crazy? You crazy?
And Marvel was always chasing Warner Brothers fumes.
Okay, fine. Yeah, but just
the Marvel ones were always like a Cliff Notes versions of the classic comics, where the DC stuff would take like comics and like adapt them, and Laughing Fish was Joker's Fight with Revenge and the Laughing Fish. Mm-hmm. Like it was like Secret Wars was like 3 episodes with like half a dozen characters. And then like the CGI city didn't match with the 2D animation.
Yeah, I know that's.
By then I was because the X-Men burned me out first because I was a huge X-Men fan. So it was like when that premiered, I was like, oh boy! And it was like, why is Jubilee in this team already? Why is Gambit in this team already? And where's Nightcrawler? Like I will say, when they brought it back for the Disney and they had Nightcrawler being awesome, I was like, okay. Cool.
I haven't finished.
Nightcrawler is awesome, and they killed Gambit, which is good. I hate Gambit. He'll come back. He's an X-Men. X-Men never die.
That's true.
Even before the whole terrible, whatever that island was called, Krakoa. Oh, before all the garbage on Krakoa.
Yeah,
X-Men still never died.
Yep. But no, I loved Spider-Man the animated series. Someone who had not, as a kid, I was more into reading novels like Hardy Boys books and that kind of stuff. When I was a kid, I didn't read comics until like literally right after I saw X-Men and Spider-Man. I did not pick up my first.
I didn't start reading comics until I was in high school. So.
Okay, well. Just saying.
Yeah, I understand. I read books, and then when I got into college, or when I got into high school, I got into comics. I got into comics. See, here's the thing. I got in the 90s, which is the perfect time to get into comics. So I have a huge, massive collection of worthless garbage. Nothing I own has any value because they're all 90s comics. With the exception, with the weird exception of the first appearance of Deadpool. I do have that.
Very cool, very cool.
That is worth money, but like everything else is just junk.
Yep. But no, Spider-Man the Animated Series, yeah, I agree with you. There are some visuals that are a little rough, and I agree. They are very rough. I always thought it was weird going from the 2D animation into the 3D web swinging. I understand what they were kind of going for there, but it didn't really work very well at all. However, the stories, the voice acting, a lot of the better episodes I really dug, and
And Mark Hamill was the Hobgoblin, and he was doing the Joker.
He was doing the Joker. Yeah, that's fine. But really, for me, where it's end all be all, it's Jennifer. My introduction to Jennifer Hale as a voice actress, as Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat. I've been in love with her for 30 years. 30 1 years.
Found you, Spider, at last.
But no, we covered each of the 5 seasons over on Tooncast years ago. My buddy Eduardo and I, and we really, I don't know, for 94 and all the stuff that came out in 94, it was the one show that has stuck with me all this time. It's the one show that I can pick out my favorite episodes of and watch. Like, you say that I just saw literally like 2 days ago somebody reposting the whole thing of, hey, you know what? They originally did the Secret Wars or the this, that, or, and they're posting clips from that show, So it is what it is. 95 was a rough year. 95, I don't remember watching a lot of television because 95 was a transition year for me. Late 94, late 94, early 95, I ended up leaving my dad and my stepmother's house, and I ended up in the state of Kentucky's care. So I ended up in state's custody for 4 years from 95 to 99. Now, keep in mind, I was born in 1980, so by 98, I should be 18 years old, which means blah, blah, blah. Well, because of other things, I had to volunteer to extend my commitment past my 18th birthday so I could even graduate high school. It's a whole thing, folks, or at least it was back then. But anyway, so 95 was kind of rough, but off and on throughout 95, 96, and 97, I do remember watching The Drew Carey Show. So funny. I did not know they unironically named Oswald's character what they named him. And silence from the...
I watched the show, but I don't remember Oswald.
Yeah. Oswald was Diedrich Bader's character.
I don't know what they named him. They named him Oswald, I guess. But
Oswald Lee Harvey.
Okay. That's what I thought you were going with, but I don't remember that at all. I don't remember there being like real subtle social biting commentary.
I don't think it ever really comes up in the.
It was Mimi.
Yeah,
it was
Mimi, Drew, and
I can't remember the guy from Whose Line Is It Anyway, who I think is really funny, but
Stiles.
I can't remember his name. Ryan Stiles.
Yep.
He's always best when he's paired up with Colin Mockery. But
yes, he is. Yep. But yeah, Drew Carey Show is the choice for 95. 96. 96 has a number of honorable mentions, but it only has one choice. Honorable mentions go to Beast Wars, Pacific Blue, Forensic Files, which I'll talk about in a moment here, Superman the Animated Series, and the TV movie version, the Ted Danson version of Gulliver's Travels. They showed this to us.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Might have to actually review it on the podcast one of these days. But I was because again, this is 1996. I obviously hadn't seen Cheers in years, and I was like, oh, I wonder what Ted Danson's up to. Oh, they're going to show us this thing in school? Ted Danson as this character. I'm like, oh, interesting. Yeah, I love that. Love Gulliver's Travels. So yeah, there's that. But Pacific Blue was cops on bikes. There's plenty of police procedurals. There's plenty of various interesting ways you can do police procedurals. I just thought this was interesting because it's not Sacramento. Come on, Mike. Santa Monica. And I'm like, okay, how are you going to do this? And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I kind of like the show. This is going to come up later, but this is why I mentioned Forensic Files here. I'm not going to talk about this too long, but Forensic Files has become the true crime show that anytime an episode comes on, as long as I hear like the first minute and a half to 2 minutes of it, I can tell you exactly what episode it is, no matter what it is. Because I've seen all 14 seasons of that show over and over and over and over and over again. And the only reason why is because of the late, great Peter Thomas. Peter Thomas was the narrator on that show. Peter Thomas has a voice that just, once you know the show, once you know at least for me, once I know the stuff and I've already taken in the information, like, I just like his voice.
Cincinnati, Ohio, the 6th largest city in the United States. Because of its size and sophistication, its healthcare facilities are among the finest anywhere. Dr. Darrell Sartorius was one of the city's most successful and respected heart surgeons, but he was also impatient and demanding.
For the last almost decade and a half, I have fallen asleep to Forensic Files every night of my life. Because I know that show so much, it's just background noise now. It's just what it is. But when I first watched it, I was like, oh, this is very, very, very cool. Again, Superman the Animated Series, got to talk about that briefly because that has 3 of the best episodes of the DC Animated Universe. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, then you know nothing about the world's finest.
I figured you might want to help me bring Luthor in.
A partnership? You're joking.
What, really?
I never really watched the Superman one. I only saw a couple episodes. I was never, to be fair, I was never a huge Superman fan. So.
Okay, that's fine. And you can find this in movie form by itself. You don't need to watch the show. So they did this as 3 episodes. They also, like I said, released this in movie form. But I believe it's in season 2. World's Finest parts 1, 2, and 3. The Joker and Lex team up. So you got Mark Hamill and Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
In Superman the Animated Series, Tim Daly plays the voice of Superman. Dana Delaney plays the voice of Lois Lane, who needs to team up with Superman against Lex and Joker.
Batman needs to team up with Superman. So.
Exactly. So
Lois
Kevin
Lane.
Conroy. Well, obviously not Lois, but I was just pointing out the fact of Dana Delaney being the voice of Lois in the show. I wasn't saying that she was teaming up with him. So Kevin Conroy comes in as Batman, and it's amazing. It's some of the best television in animation ever. However,
can I just quickly add
yes.
One thing I did think, because they did kind of keep with the great casting. You're right, Clancy Brown was a terrific Lex Luthor. And I think the most brilliant casting of all was Gilbert Gottfried as Mr. Mxyzptlk.
Yep.
Because I actually just recently read his first appearance in the comics.
Yeah.
And like you can just you totally hear Gilbert Gottfried's voice when the character talks. Like that was spot on casting.
Oh, absolutely it was. Yeah, it was. Yep. Now, interesting to note that Superman the Animated Series, Jor-El, I think, yes. Yeah. Jor-El is the voice. It's Shooter McGowan. It's Christopher McDonald. So in 1996, Christopher McDonald got to play Superman's father, as well as the biggest villain in golf, Shooter McGavin and Happy Gilmore. But the 1996 choice can only go to one show. That is a CBS television show by the name of Nash Bridges, starring Don Johnson and Cheech Marin.
Uh-huh. Now turn around.
Nash Bridges.
Jake? What happened to your hair, man?
I shaved it off, Dominguez. What happened to yours?
I missed a couple payments. You working?
What else? Who are you guys?
We're with the gas company. Cops.
He's a cop?
Oh, you failed to identify yourself, huh?
I was busy.
I bet.
I want him arrested for assault and battery and breaking and entering.
Well, let's just talk about you first. What do you say, Daryl? You know, attempting suicide's a crime. Now, you see, Daryl, if we arrest you, we're obligated to search this place. And with you being on probation and all, and if we happen to run across, say, some controlled substances...
What if I, didn't press charges?
Well, that would be a start.
What do you want?
Now, do you see how easy that was? We're looking for a guy that's making some wonky steroids.
You know, like the kind you sold to Bart Mackey? Hey, this is my gig.
Back off, Bubba. I'm in no mood.
Also starring Jeff Perry, Jody Lynn O'Keefe, and others. Nash Bridges would run from 1996 to 2001. It would get 6 seasons on CBS. It would get a reunion movie on USA, I think, in 2021. It was okay. Whatever. But Nash is basically standard police procedural type stuff. But it's a cop out in San Francisco who has a 1971 Hemi Cuda as his car, kind of thing. And it was just, I don't know, it hit me at the same time that Walker was in the middle of its run. And that same kind of sort of year, they had Sammo Hung doing martial law. And they had this whole CBS Action Friday night block. And as much as I like Miami Vice, I prefer Nash Bridges to it, because I don't know, it just hit better for me, I guess. And it would be my number one cop show for a long time, up until 2003. And it's still kind of my number one cop show for the most part.
Hey, don't bother me. I'm having phone sex.
But that's the 96 choice. Going into 1997. Oh boy, 1997. Now, even though we've already talked about Batman the Animated Series, these are runners-up, so I don't feel like I have to talk about these more because it's still more of that. But in that year of 97, they branched off and did the new Batman Adventures / the new Batman Superman Adventures, because Batman the Animated Series ended in 95. They brought it back as the new Adventures of Batman, and then they combined both shows into the new Batman Superman Adventures. The only reason why I bring this up is because I love the music theme changes for the opening theme for the Batman Superman Adventures. I love how they combined the two themes. That was so cool. This year is the debut of Stargate SG-1. So love that show. Need to get back into that show. Might end up doing a series here on the podcast with that. This was the debut of, I believe it only had 4 seasons. I think it ran from 97 to 2002 or 2000 or whatever, however that long it is. Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
With Frakes, Jonathan Frakes.
It was
or am I wrong?
No, you're right. He took over. Yeah.
Oh, he took over.
It was the other guy. Was it Thor? Not Thor. Thanos.
Really? Josh,
it was one of the Brolins. It was either Josh or James. Was it James Brolin or Josh Brolin? I forget which Brolin it was.
All the memes are William Frakes or Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah.
People want to call him Will Picker.
Yeah, because he was the guy that was honestly most recognizable from that. But yeah, no, Beyond Belief was the one where I just absolutely loved it more than most of the other ones, because it was just easier to. Yeah, so yeah, it was James Brolin, 97, and then Jonathan Frakes. He only did it 1 year, and then Frakes took over 98 to 2002. Oh wait, the show came back in 2021 and it's still running? Oh man, I need to, oh boy. Anyway, but from 97 to 2000, it was narrated by the late great Don LaFontaine, the movie trailer guy. And then in 2002, it was narrated by Campbell Lane, and then currently it's debuted by somebody who I can't pronounce their name. I always loved this because it was an audience participation type show where it's like, we're going to present you with 5 stories. You have to pick which ones are fact and which ones are fiction. And then they presented you with the stories and you have to just like, I just always loved that. I thought that was cool. But I had to pick a comedy for this year because this is a romantic comedy from, I think, CBS that I absolutely loved. And it's probably one of the only comedies that I'll probably pick. Dharma and Greg with Thomas Gibson and Jenna Elfman.
This thing
Feng Shui is great. I mean, the place just oozes positive energy.
It's not practical. The commute downtown would kill me.
Don't worry, sweetie. Just let the universe provide.
The universe doesn't provide. I provide. I bust my ass 80 hours a week.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody needs to meditate.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody needs to file for divorce.
Really? You want to play that card? Because I will take you and your uptight bourgeois family for every penny you've got. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I just loved that. That show was so different. It just was. It was so different and so fun because he's so straight-laced and upper crust and tight up his ass and because of his parents, and she's so hippy-dippy because of her parents and how they are, and it's got Alan Rachins in it, and it's got the guy, I forget what the guy's name is. He was in a bunch of movies and stuff. It's just so fun. Absolutely loved Dharma and Greg. 98, we got another true crime thing that debuted this year, City Confidential. The only reason why I want to bring this up is it was narrated by the late great Paul Winfield. Absolutely love that.
Glittering like a man-made gem, the city of Seattle adorns the curved coastline of Washington's Puget Sound. It is a high-priced town made rich by companies like Boeing, Microsoft, and Starbucks. Corporate titans nestle in the beautiful scenery of the Pacific Northwest. A few miles east of the city skyline is Lake Washington, whose blue waters and sandy shoreline attract Seattle's most affluent residents. But in the fall of 1990, someone else was living among the engineers, entrepreneurs, and the educated of Seattle's Gold Coast, a serial killer. That fall, 3 young women were found dead, murdered. All 3 gruesomely posed by their killer. Finding the killer would ultimately shine a strong light into the dark forest and comfortable superiority of Seattle's poshest suburbs.
Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV debuted in 1998 with Judge Mills Lane doing the refereeing.
Yeah.
That's not the choice. Felicity debuted this year. First of the J.J. Abrams TV shows that I noticed. That's not the choice because the only choice can go to David Hasselhoff in the Eye Patch Role of the Year, Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
From the pages of entertainment history, from a brand renowned for non-stop action adventure, from a name that stirs the imagination, from a universe where good is heroic and evil sets the screen ablaze, comes a man who will always remain a hero.
I'll get that vampire's blood if I have to suck it from her neck.
Made for TV movie starring him. Gary Chalk is in it as Dum Dum. And I just absolutely love that. 100% love it. So 99. You got anything you want to say about 98 or 97 before I get to 99?
I never watched Dahmer and Greg, and I think I found out that Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. was the thing way after the fact.
Oh, okay.
I got no real opinion.
Okay. 99. We've got now I'm feeling anal retentive. I was about to say in alphabetical order, but these aren't in alphabetical order until I move this. All right. 1999. We have in alphabetical order Angel, Batman Beyond, Beast Machines, Now and Again, The Sopranos, and SVU. Technically, SVU should be in between Beast Machines and Now and Again if it was the full title, but since it's not, Angel is my favorite, and it's not my pick, but it is my favorite of the 2 Joss Whedon shows that I've seen, because I've only seen Buffy and Angel. But out of those 2, I prefer Angel over the Buffy show.
Hey, big guy. Need another car? Afraid this last one ended up in the drink.
Spike,
Look at you.
just turn around and walk away.
You're a...
Spike!
You're a bloody puppet!
You're a wee little puppet man. Ow! Hey, that's enough.
Angel, what the hell happened to you? You look ridiculous.
Get out of here, Spike.
Oh my God, Angel, you're...
Shut up. What are you people looking at? Well?
You're looking at the wee little puppet man.
Stupid, whiny piece of crap. Yes, I'm a puppet. Doesn't mean you don't have work to do.
I stuck with Buffy longer.
Angel's only 5 seasons. I forget how many seasons Buffy was.
I'm just saying, like, Buffy would get my vote basically more because of familiarity than anything else.
Yeah.
I never really got into Angel, and I saw one episode of Firefly.
Yeah. Beast Machines.
I blinked and it got canceled.
Yep. Beast Machines is the predecessor to Beast Wars.
Well, I love Beast... It's the sequel to Beast Wars.
Oh, yeah.
The predecessor. Takes place afterwards.
Yeah, sorry.
And it screws up the lore of Cybertron. Cybertron was always organic. It's like, what?
It tells its own story.
But it's tied into everything else, though.
Yes, I know. They were trying to tell something.
There were things
different.
I liked. I liked Beast Wars until Beast Machines until the end.
Yeah, that was.
It screwed up everything.
I mean, they were trying to give them a happy ending, considering the sacrifice.
Like I said, I liked it until the end. I love the stuff with Rhinox becoming Tankor and actually like, oh no, I'm not mind controlled. I just like being evil. Like that was cool.
Yep.
I like how Caveman threw Waspinator into space through time and space to Cybertron.
Yeah.
Caveman.
Yeah, Caveman and women.
Which also undid Waspinator's happy ending, which I didn't like.
Yeah, poor Waspinator. He can never catch a break.
And then, like, Megatron becomes Optimal Optimus and keeps saying that over and over and over and over again. And it's like, yeah, we get it. That's the name of the toy. Thank you. Yeah. That was Dan Didio, who later went on to do things to DC Comics.
No, Dan wasn't on the show.
No, I think Dan was on that show.
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
On Beast Machines? No, he wasn't.
On Beast Machines, yeah. I thought it was Beast Machines.
No, he was not. It was Bob Ward and Larry DiTilio on Beast Machines. Dan was not anywhere near that. Pretty sure. Beast Machines, Transformers.
That's weird. It comes up right away.
What, for him? Somebody's crediting it wrong. Developed by Marty Eisenberg, Robert N. Skier, Robert Buckley, Ian Pearson, Mark Ralston. Yeah, Dan's name isn't anywhere on here.
And it's best known for being the producer who informed Marv Wolfman that Beast Wars had no ties to the original series and to do as he pleased with Generation 1 continuity when outlining Beast Machines. And then instructed Bob Skura and Marty Eisenberg to disregard any previous incarnations of the series and writing Beast Machines.
Really? That's weird.
Beast Wars was too, quote, continuity heavy. I knew it! I knew it!
Anyway.
I knew Transformers things more than you did.
Uh-huh.
You should be embarrassed. You should genuinely be embarrassed.
So where are we?
We're 99. You keep talking about things you weren't picking.
Yes, not picking. Now and Again was a short-lived series. This was so silly. So it was a series starring Dennis Haysbert, Eric Close, and John Goodman. And it was a series It was I've been wanting to get this on DVD for so long. Like, it was this weird series where it was kind of like Chances Are, where the guy dies and he gets reincarnated kind of thing. And he wants to go back to his old life and this, that, and the other thing and everything else. and Margaret Collins is in it. But yeah, again, it was one of those like, I wonder. Yeah, here we go. Given a new life, Michael is kept in an apartment where he is trained by government experts led by Dr. Theodore Morris in the art of espionage. Despite his new life and new abilities, Michael longs to return to his wife Lisa and daughter Heather. So there's that. It was just one of those weird things that I just absolutely latched onto. The Sopranos was like, I know that but I was 19 at the time. I was just graduating high school. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to go to college, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't have time for The Sopranos. I've since come around to The Sopranos and enjoyed various bits and pieces of it. It was okay. Special Victims Unit. I've been watching Special Victims Unit for 26 years or so off and on. And what they've done with the characters has been so amazing and whatever else. But the choice goes to Batman Beyond because I've been living Batman Beyond life for 26 years. I have, except the new current ones that are out that I haven't been able to get yet, I have all the Batman Beyond Funko Pops. But I know every single episode, all 52 of them, inside and out. Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. I have all the music. I just absolutely love that show.
27.
I accept nothing short of excellence from all who work for me.
I think I can handle it.
Very good then, Mr. McGinnis. Welcome to my world.
Now, the Dark Knight will rise again to drive the shadow of evil from the streets of Gotham.
All right, coming in at number 27, this is where we will see the other number one fall for this episode. So one person had this at number one. I will just read the little blurb and see if you guys can pinpoint it or not. It successfully evolved this character's mythos rather than merely repeating it. Its cyberpunk aesthetic, emotional mentorship dynamic, and futuristic setting made it one of the boldest superhero animation reinventions ever attempted. We're talking about 1999's from the WB Batman Beyond. I'm sorry, Mike. Your number one falls right here at number 27. It was 16th last time. It falls all the way down to number 27. So it fell 11 spots, which was the exact same. The Family Guy, Garfield, and Darkwing Duck before the tiebreaker all fell. They all fell 11 spots exactly. We'll start with you, Mike. What do you think of Batman Beyond being right here at number 27?
Okay, so here's the thing, folks. Batman Beyond is in my blood. It is the second franchise only to Transformers. And I say franchise even though it is only one cartoon. But I have everything I can possibly have when it comes to this series, other than art prints and things like that, or clothing or anything like that. I have the complete series Blu-ray set. I literally, other than the ones that are about to release in July via Amazon, I have every single Funko Pop of Batman Beyond. I love this show. 52 episodes plus Return of the Joker, the animated film. I just love this show. What I love about this show is when I found Batman Beyond in 1999, I had already stepped away from the DC animated universe. Yes, I had seen World's Finest and I had seen various episodes of Superman the Animated Series at the time. But after that, from 97 to 98 to 99, when this show began January 10th of that year, I had no clue. I thought DCAU was done. I thought they were done doing Batman episodes. And I saw the Rebirth two-parter, and I'm like, Old Man Bruce holding a gun, pointing at a criminal? What is going on here? I didn't know what, my 19-year-old self didn't know what in the heck was going on. I literally had to watch every single episode of this show at the time. Fast forward years later, Steve Megatron and I would create Legends of the Dark Knight. We would go through every episode of BTAS and Batman Beyond and just absolutely love this show. It's got great animation. It's got a great soundtrack done by Christopher Carter, Lolita Romanis, and Michael McQuistion, the Dynamic Music Partners. I've interviewed all of them multiple times. Absolutely love it. It's one of the best Batman shows ever.
It's Dirt. Any thoughts on Batman Beyond?
What the hell could I possibly add after that?
Sorry. Like
Thumbs
I said, Batman Beyond is in my blood.
I can go thumbs up, good show. And then that's all I can really add.
Mr. Wayne? Mr. Wayne! Terry, you're hurt. Just groggy. Who did this? It was me. It isn't human. Destroy it! Way ahead of you. Batmobile! Ignition! Sorry, pal, but you're history. Who sent that thing? It didn't say. Whoever it was, they didn't stop at one. Seven against two. Pretty bad odds. For them.
And everyone will say, oh, that show's just an action show. There's no emotion. There is plenty of emotion in that show. If you don't think there's any emotion in that show, basically they repeat what happened to Bruce. They do it in a different way to Terry, where his father dies. He has to pick up the mantle. He has to pick up the mask, even though he breaks into Bruce. So you have this whole mixing of the genres, not genres, but the mixing of the shows, of the old with the new, and how Terry wants to do it versus how Bruce is used to doing it, and this, that, and the other thing. And they work in the Jokers with a Z and the Jokers gang, and they sometimes bring in some of the old villains, but they try their best not to, and they try to make up new villains. And Ink is by far his number one rogue in the rogues gallery for Batman Beyond, because there isn't much anybody else.
Oh, Blight.
I mean, Blight.
Blight has the great meme where Terry's like, you killed my father. And he's like, do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Yeah, exactly. So Batman Beyond, absolutely love Batman Beyond. That music, man, just, I can listen to that music all day, and I do. 2000, runners-up are Andromeda, which is the Kevin Sorbo show. This year, CSI debuted, so that started that series, that long-running series. Yes, Dear, which was a comedy with Mark Addy and, what's the other guy? Gina Louisa Kelly is in it, I believe, and other people. Boston Public is also a runner-up, because I haven't seen it in years. Huh?
William Shatner.
William
Wasn't he in Boston
Shatner.
Public? Wasn't he?
Maybe as a guest.
I think of a different one.
Boston Legal? You're talking about
Boston Legal, I'm sorry.
You're thinking of not William Shatner. You're thinking of
I'm thinking of William Shatner, but like I might be getting the show wrong. He was a lawyer. He played Denny Crane in a legal thing with Boston in the title. Okay, so James Spader was in Boston Legal, I think. Okay, that was probably the one I'm thinking of. Then I apologize.
Yeah, okay. Oh no, it's fine. Boston Public was the public school with Chi McBride as the principal. It has Jerry Ryan it has 7 of 9 as one of the teachers. It has Joey McIntyre as one of the teachers in it from New Kids on the Block. It's a show that just, I don't know, it doesn't get as much love because guess what? It's not on physical media, and I don't think it's on any streaming service either. Pisses me off.
I got teachers initiating walkouts and adopting hookers and beating the crap out of each other. I don't know what to do anymore. Student says the wrong thing to you, boom, boom. Parents come in to complain, boom, boom, boom. We are the role models.
Anyway, I used to love that show. But the choice is, and this is the only time, I'm pretty sure on my list, this is the only time I will go reality TV. In 2000, there was a reality TV war of what show you were going to choose. Because this is the first time reality television really kind of took off. You can either pick Eating Bugs with Jeff Probst or Living in a House with other strangers. No, this is not the real world. But it was between Survivor and Big Brother, and I always chose Big Brother because it was better.
10 complete strangers have moved into this house. Now they're sharing secrets.
I'm a virgin.
And learning to get along.
Who knows what's gonna happen?
Catch an all-new Big Brother, CBS tonight.
But I had been watching Big Brother off and on for years after it debuted in 2000. I had stopped somewhere around 2016 or so, and then I picked it back up in 2020, I think. Or 2019 when they did that season, and then I stopped again and I haven't watched it since. But like the first 5, 6, or 7 seasons from 2000 to 2007, that show was just so cool. I love Julie Chen as the host. Just so great. One of the best reality shows on television. So that's 2000. That's the choice. Any remarks?
I will save them for my list.
Okay.
Although I did watch both the early seasons of both of those, Big Brother and.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. 2001 includes non-choices. Mutant X. You remember Mutant X?
I remember it was based on a comic I didn't read.
Okay. House of Mouse.
Dead center of Main Street, it's Disney's House of Mouse! And don't forget the Banshee Schmancy Costume Contest!
Costume contest? Oh boy, that's for me!
I think this is one of only 2 times I will pick a Power Rangers. I will have Power Rangers series as mentions. Power Rangers Time Force. MTV's attempt to get into soap operas, Spider Games, Spyder Games, Alias, Law and Order Criminal Intent, Smallville, 24, and Justice League. That damn clock. That damn click. Come on, Jack. Get to your damn mission and hurry up and finish it. I swear to God, that clock. Every time I heard that tick, 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 like, okay, when's Jack Bauer going to explode? 24 was awesome, though. Mutant X I thought was interesting because it was 2001 and it was after Lois and Clark had ended. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is Lex Luthor doing back as a good guy? Because John Shea plays Adam in Mutant X. House of Mouse is Disney cartoons, but it was like, here it's Mickey and everybody at a club, and they're showing Disney cartoons to the people who are the cartoon characters who are sitting at the club, but they're actually showing them to us. So there's that. Power Rangers Time Force, it's a future time thing with Power Rangers. Alias, I shouldn't have to explain Alias to the audience. Jennifer Garner. What's his name? Oh God, Bradley Cooper, but the old guy. Oh God, what was his name? He plays oh God, her father. He plays Jack, her father, in this. What is his name?
Jack from Titanic.
Yeah. Anyway, love him. Smallville, you too will believe a man can drive a tractor and do that at super speed. No, I liked Smallville for what it was. I liked how they did various things with the lore of Superman. I liked how it seemed that by the 6th season, I was like, okay, every season after this, when are they going to be done? By season 7, we brought in Laura Vandervoot as Supergirl. I was like, okay, cool. We can be done now, right? And they drug it out to 10 seasons, and then we finally saw a man fly in jeans and a vest. I was like, okay, I understand. He doesn't want to put the suit on. I get it. He doesn't want the curse, whatever. Justice League, the animated series, just absolutely awesome. Nothing to say about that. It's just so good. We've done a whole podcast series on both Justice League and Justice League Unlimited here at the network called the Secret Origins podcast. We did that years ago. The choice for 2001, though, and it's a show that I go back to very often and watch all the way through. I think I just did it last year again. Law and Order, Criminal Intent.
Look at all these cubicles. Anyone passing by can see the screens. But Colleen moved her computer so she could have privacy.
Oh, private chats at 7 a.m. Maybe she was doing her acting on the internet.
After he was Thor in 1987's Adventures in Babysitting, but before he was the Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio was Robert Gorin, Detective Robert Gorin in Criminal Intent. 10 seasons, multiple storylines, so good. And this show basically focused on the criminal element version of it instead of just criminal court. I can maybe count on one hand how many actual court, I don't even think maybe twice you saw D.A. Carver going into the courtroom. I don't remember a lot of these episodes going into actual court and actually seeing the law, the order side of the law, because most of it was the police side. But this is where we would also get introduced to, at least this is where I would get introduced to her, Olivia D'Abo, who would do a voice in Justice League later. But she was Nicole Wallace in this series. She was his white whale in this one. Absolutely love Criminal Intent. Any comments before we move on?
I vaguely remember it. I didn't stick with it. And didn't it go through, it wasn't just D'Onofrio. Didn't they have Jeff Goldblum for a while? And I think they brought back Chris Noth.
Yeah, so Chris Noth came back. And so Law & Order Criminal Intent ran from 2001 to 2011. And D'Onofrio went up to a certain point. At one point, Chris Noth and Annabella Scar, because Annabella Scar either got introduced or she came back or whatever, they then intermingled with the D'Onofrio and Catherine Irby episodes. And then Goldblum came on for season 9 because something happened with contracts or whatever. And then season 10, D'Onofrio returned for the final season. But it's still a good show. It's such a good show. Absolutely love it.
I just remember Olivia D'Abo from Conan the Destroyer.
I thought you could do anything.
Piggyback thing really drags down my coolness.
Well, pardon me. Not all of us have the power of flight.
Oh, complain. You know, when life gives you lemons...
I complain about the lemons!
Dude, you okay?
Dr. D?
My mind, it's racing. It's uncanny. I see every detail.
Of what?
My greatest plan ever.
To save the world?
Do not make me say those words.
All right, in 2002, we have Kim Possible. I came to this show very late. I had only seen a few episodes to it when I was 22 years old. But it stars Christy Carlson Romano, who was on the Even Stevens show with Disney. But it stars Batman. It stars Batman Beyond. Will Friedle is the voice of Ron Stoppable, and he always wanted the Naco. It also stars Bart Simpson. Nancy Cartwright is the voice of Rufus, his mole rat, his naked mole rat. Ron's naked mole rat, Rufus. So there's that. Fastlane. God damn it, Fox. You guys suck. Fastlane was a short-lived show starring Valerie. Damn it, what's her damn name? Tiffany Amber Thiessen. It stars Bill Bellamy and Peter Fasinelli.
To stop a gang of cop killers,
We've had 11 members of this department gunned down in the last 2 weeks.
2 undercover cops will enter a world where every fantasy can come true.
This place is heaven on earth.
And every nightmare.
They are going to kill him. We're going to have to shoot our way out of here.
Whatever you do,
I'm under fire. I need backup.
watch until the very end. All new Fastlane at 8/7 Central Fox Friday.
Basically, another undercover cop procedural type thing. Only lasted one season. The cool thing about this was a McG show, and they tried to do all kinds of music stuff. And this is one of those. This is when the early 2000s. It was kind of like 90s extreme, but it was not really. It was like, this is the 2000s. We need to go hard with the music, with the cars, with the everything. And then there was the 2002 Mike Young Productions Masters of the Universe cartoon. So there's that. But the choice goes down to something that blew my socks off. The debut of the FX network in 2002 with Michael Chiklis as Vic Mackey and The Shield.
Well, thanks for your support.
This show, oh my God. The opening scene and the opening chase. Again, I know it's a police procedural, but this is a police procedural like you've never seen. FX was not basic cable, but you know, it was cable.
No, basic cable.
Okay, well, whatever.
They had the apartment.
Yeah. This show basically broke all the rules and did it on purpose. They say shit without bleeping in the first 20 minutes of this show. That opening chase, I think it's when Vic pulls the drugs out of the guy's midsection. And I'm not talking about his stomach. He basically pulls it right out from under his balls. He's like, oh, holy shit, Vic, why you got to do that? Michael Chiklis's character says something, but the 7 seasons of The Shield, man, I just love that show. And again, it was at a time where I was back in Massachusetts. I had not lived in Massachusetts in years, and I just absolutely loved it. It was so good, so awesome. Anything you'd like to say about 2002, sir?
No. I never really watched The Shield. I remember Chiklis from The Commish, which was it's interesting because he went from The Commish, which was a cute, squishy TV show, to The Shield. So that was pretty impressive. That
yes.
Became, cuddly, fuzzy bear guy to murderous, dirty cop guy.
Yeah.
Which I think speaks well of his abilities as an actor.
Absolutely. I think we've covered 2 seasons. My buddy Ryan and I have covered 2 seasons of The Shield on this podcast. We covered them a couple of years ago. I want to get back to covering more seasons of The Shield at some point, one of these days. So, yeah. All right, moving on to 2003. Extreme Makeover Home Edition. I never cared about the original Extreme Makeover, but the Home Edition one with Ty Pennington I thought was kind of cool because I had never really... Yeah, Trading Spaces, yep. But, yeah. So there's that. NCIS with Mark Harmon debuted in 2003.
Wow.
Very short-lived show. Only got 1 season. No. I've moved on from NCIS. Because NCIS will come up later.
It goes on forever.
Yeah, no,
it might still be on the air.
It's still on today. NCIS is awesome. NCIS was so cool. I remember actually every year after it aired and we got news of the DVD. I actually had, I think, seasons 1 through 6 on DVD release back then. It was so cool. I absolutely love NCIS.
I just like the goth chick.
You just like Abby, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. A very short-lived show. It actually only got 1 season on Fox with Eliza Dushku. True Calling. It was with her and with Matt Bomer. It's a very, very short show. It's a very interesting, cool show. I don't know how else to describe it, but there's that.
What if you had the power to change the future?
Those people, they shouldn't actually be dead.
By reliving the past.
What happened to her?
Neighbors heard a gunshot around 10.
For True Davies, it's not just a possibility.
Help me.
It's a calling.
She's alive. You're gonna die today, Rebecca. What did you just say? You asked for my help. Now I asked for your help?
How could you know that? How could you possibly know
Just trust me. I heard another voice.
Oh, boy.
Eliza Dushku. True Calling. Thursdays, Fox Fall.
Let's see here. Other TMNT 2003 came out that year. The new TMNT series came out. Absolutely dug that show. Duck Dodgers. Yep, Duck Dodgers released in 2003. My favorite, Las Vegas, with the late great James Caan. Also, Josh Duhamel is in that. I actually have the complete series DVD set on my dresser in there on the next to the TV and all that. Love that show. Las Vegas was cool because it was one of those shows on NBC where it was at a time where, again, in NBC in 2003, where networks were trying to figure out how to do action again. And what's better than watching the security room at a Las Vegas casino? But no, it was fun. They had all kinds of guest stars. Magnum PI came in and actually took over the casino and bought it at one point. So yeah, love Las Vegas. But the choice, and I literally just finished this series like 3 days ago and restarted watching it again. CBS's, starring Catherine Morris. Tom Barry's in it. Jeremy Ratchford's in it. What's his name? The guy who plays Danny Pino is in it. Cold Case from CBS. The one about it's Lily Rush and all them. Basically about the cold cases where she figures them out and everything else. And the coolest thing about Cold Case is, they're looking into past murders and stuff like that, but it's how they frame the story, and they frame the story with music. And luckily, because HBO Max owns the stuff, because it's Warner Brothers, most, if not all, of the music is intact, thank God. There is one episode of this show where the entire episode is Bruce Springsteen songs. Because that's how it's framed in the episode, and that's how I just love that show. It's just awesome. So cool.
I saw a murder.
And when did this happen?
1976.
Are you saying we should open a 27-year-old case?
Yeah. It's about your daughter. A witness has come forward, someone that was there the night she died.
From the producer of CSI.
What is this?
It's a homicide investigation.
Comes the next great crime drama.
Whatever you hid, we're about to find it.
Cold Case, CBS this fall.
Any remarks for 2003?
I think my mom liked that show.
Yeah, it was a good show. Very good show. 2004, there really is only, well, technically there should be two choices here, but I only mentioned these two shows just offhand. One is called North. Oh, well, I didn't mention the other show for 2003 that would have been a choice if I didn't have Cold Case. Fox's Welcome to the OC, bitch. The OC from Fox that came out that year from Josh Schwartz with, what's his name? Ben McKenzie. Peter Gallagher's also in it. Anyway, 2004. North Shore was kind of like supposed to be the next big thing offshoot of the OC. That's the only reason why I re-mentioned 2003. And then Pimp My Ride or Justice League Unlimited is the other not choices. Justice League Unlimited, basically, it's Justice League, but Justice League Unlimited, it's basically the third, fourth, and fifth season of that show. Man, when they went Unlimited, I like the Justice League theme song, but that Unlimited theme song is so much more action heavy. Just absolutely love it. And just the end of that series, how they end that 5-minute head start. 5-minute head start. You're getting old. You're getting soft in your old age. Don't you have a tall building to go leap? It's Batman to Superman and vice versa. Just absolutely love Justice League Unlimited. So many cool stories were told in those final 3 seasons. They did the Once and Future thing in those. Oh, it's so good.
Surprised to see me? A little. I'm more surprised that I lived so long.
Batman, Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, Batman. Or have you met?
Not now.
Great. What did they used to call it? Stereo?
But the choice for 2004, again, the only time I will mention, and the only time it's actually a choice, is because Jason David Frank returned to Power Rangers Dino Thunder.
This can't be happening.
Such negativity. Haven't you learned that in our world, anything's possible?
Even the destruction of the great Dr. Tommy Oliver.
I heard my name. You missed me, didn't you, Zeltrax?
Yes! All right!
Awesome!
Right on!
You made it! Hey, Dr. O, what's this?
A black dino gem. Let me guess. The power of invisibility.
Looks like it.
That gem belongs to my master.
There's two things you guys need to learn about dino gems. One, you can't choose them. They choose you.
What's the other?
They go real well with dino morphers.
Aren't you a little old for this, Tommy?
I may be old, but I can still pull it off. Dino Thunder! Power up! Dino Thunder! Black Ranger!
This show was like, it's your standard Power Rangers show, but it's because Tommy was back that it really made everything more special. And the way they told the story of him being back and him having to basically be the teacher, even though he ended up being a part of the team and he ended up being his own ranger as well. Just the way everything fell out with that show, just absolutely loved it. Any thoughts before we move on to 05?
No.
Okay.
Power Rangers came out the year after I graduated college, so like I've never had any
Yep.
connection with it.
Yeah, no worries. 2005, there's a cartoon and there's a live action show. Cartoon was Johnny Test, which stars the voices of Ian Corlett and a bunch of other people I can't remember off the top of my head. Ian Corlett plays the dad. But Johnny Test is basically Johnny and his dog Dookie are trying to make the best, do the best they can. And his sister's kind of, always have him doing experiments. And he has this villain of a neighbor, Eugene, and everything else and whatever. But the choice is, and I can't believe, thankfully, out of all my life, one show that actually explained math that I actually understand it. Starring Judd Hirsch, Rob Morrow, and David Krumholtz. It's CBS's Numbers.
Today's robbery, he should be able to tell us where they're going to go next.
Charlie, did you hear what I said?
I'm just thinking. Understand, this is an entirely new problem now. The pattern I was working from was a false pattern.
No, not so much false as incomplete. You were able to accurately predict today's robbery.
Right, but there's new factors now. Okay? They aren't two unarmed guys, so the assumptions we made about them are invalid.
Okay, all right, look. So you take the new factors and you make a new equation, right?
It's not that easy, man. It's not that easy because there's something else that has to be considered.
Like what?
Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Heisenberg noted that the act of observation will affect the observer. In other words, when you watch something, you change it. And, for example, like an electron, you can't really measure it without bumping into it in some small way. Any physical act of observation requires interaction with a form of energy, like light. And that will change the nature of the electron, its path of travel.
Right, all right, hold on. You know I got like a C in physics, so just take me through how this relates to the case.
John, you've observed the robbers. They know it. That will change their actions.
Okay, so they changed their MO, but we don't have to go back to square one.
I loved Numbers because you have Rob Morrow's character as Don, as the FBI agent. You have Krumholtz's character as Charlie, who is the math professor, and they have to work together. Not a lot of TV shows did plots like that. Yes, you would have FBI agents working with various people, but specifically brothers who have opposite ends of things like that. You didn't have a lot of that, so I absolutely love that. Just that show ran for 6 years, 6 seasons. I think if I remember correctly, it ended on a fairly good note. I don't remember how well, or I remember there were a few episodes where everything was pretty harrowing, but it was a good little action show. That's where I found out about Peter McNichol as an actor, I think. Peter McNichol has done a lot of stuff.
He has.
He plays, in that show, he plays an eccentric professor named Larry. Very eccentric. Any thoughts about 2005?
Oh, is that your choice?
Yeah, Numbers is the choice.
I never watched it.
Oh. If you're interested, you should. I'll see if I can find it somewhere. 2006 is a game show and a reality show, unfortunately. Dallas SWAT, because everything back then was A&E SWAT. And Dallas SWAT was the first one I watched. And then 1 versus 100. I always thought the concept of 1 versus 100 was kind of funny and kind of cool. But that first reality, yeah, Dallas SWAT is the choice. I don't know what it was about that. I don't know if it's because I'd seen up to that point, I was 26. Yeah. 26 years old. I had seen so many actual, like, fictional whatever. I'm like, oh, let me look at and yeah, yes, Cops is a real live action show about actual cops, but I think they overdid that a little much. Like, that was a little, I could be wrong, but in my mind, when I remember watching episodes of Cops, that was a little too much violence, I think, but I could be wrong. But Dallas SWAT was the first reality cop show that I actively watched in the early 2000s. Thoughts?
2006 was a rough year for me. I almost didn't give it to anything. I had to dig really deep. I had to dig really deep to find a show that I even watched.
Yeah, same here. I was like, having trouble here. 2007, we have 3 things here. We have the short-lived series, only got 6 episodes and only, oh God, really? Yeah. I think this series only 2 episodes aired and 4 of them didn't, or 4 aired and 2 didn't. I forget. It was a Fox series called Drive. It was about this mysterious road race, and you had to go to point to point to point to point to point. Dylan Baker's in it. Amy, what's her name? Amy Acker is in it. A bunch of other people. But that was a short-lived show.
When Prison Break ends, the race begins.
Secret, illegal, cross-country road race. First prize is
$32 million.
12 strangers.
You wanted fun? Well, I think things just got fun.
In the thrill ride of a lifetime.
Daddy!
Where everyone has a reason to win.
You're never gonna find your wife, not if they ever.
And who are they?
People you don't want to meet.
Drive, the 2-hour series premiere, coming Sunday, April 15th to Fox.
Transformers Animated debuted in 2007.
At long last I serve you, my liege, under my true colors.
Rise, Shockwave, my most loyal servant.
And then the big one, Phineas and Ferb, debuted in 2007. That's the choice.
I know what we're doing today.
Oh boy, Phineas and Ferb. I love that show. Everything about that show is so fun, so cool. You've got one side with Phineas and Ferb and everything they're doing with their inventions and basically giving kids, along with everybody else, positive reinforcement about let's make today the best summer day ever, and we can do anything we put our minds to and everything else. And on the opposite end, you have Dr. Doofenshmirtz just trying to even have any of his innators function, even before he tries to take down Perry the Platypus. And like I said before, as always, it always comes back to podcasting. My buddy Michael Wilson and I have been doing the podcast organization without a cool acronym. We've been doing that since 2016. So almost 10 years. We're almost done. We just wrapped up. I think I have to release Candace Against the Universe, which is the second animated feature film that they did. And then we have to start new on the new season 5 that they just released. So yeah, Phineas and Ferb for 2007.
Hi guys, come on in. The water's great.
I liked Phineas and Ferb. It was definitely a very strong contender for my choice for this year.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, I think towards the end of the show, it started to get very repetitive, which was also sort of the point. Like the joke was that they were to repeat things.
Yeah.
Like they had like lines like, yes, it is, and what you doing, and all that stuff. But like,
well,
no, I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, it was like, I don't know. I'm surprised they're bringing it back. I mean, I'm not surprised they're bringing it back because it's Disney and they'll milk everything they have until there's nothing left. But I feel like it ran its course at a certain point, and then like Across the Second Dimension was probably their. If it had ended there, it would have been peak.
Yeah.
Across the Second Dimension was brilliant. With
Yeah.
a Doofenshmirtz that was actually competent.
Yep.
And the bit about you made a deliberate choice to pee on my couch. When they find out about Perry, like that was great. And then I think the show went on for like a couple more seasons, and it's just like, okay,
yeah,
let's build another thing, and then Candace will try to bust us, and then at the very end, it will go away. And usually, it goes away in a way that like thwarts Doofenshmirtz's plan. And okay, it's a good show. I feel it maybe overstayed its welcome a little bit, and
so
there was something else that I liked better. So
okay,
the breaks.
Well, yeah, that's going to be your list. So the thing with the Second Dimension, yeah, absolutely, you're right. If it had ended there, it would have been fine. They have an episode called "Act Your Age" in the 4th season that technically should have been the actual.
Oh, is that the one where they go to camp? Or they get sent to like a
no.
There's one where they get sent to like a prison camp and they're like forced not to imagine anything. Or no, that's the one where Phineas and Ferb get busted.
Yeah, that's Phineas and Ferb get busted. That's from an earlier season. No, there's
Oh.
one called Act Your Age where they go 10 years in the future, or they go X number of years in the future, and they're all grown up and they're all graduating high school, going off to college, and Phineas can't decide between Tri-State State or this, that, and the other thing, whatever else. And Isabella's like, oh, I'm going to Tri-State State and blah, 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 blah. But they're all older and they're all this and they're all that. And everybody kind of gets a happy ending. You would think that they would have made that.
That's the finale, isn't it?
It's not.
Oh.
It's not the last episode that actually airs. It should be, but it isn't. Because the before they started doing the 5th season, the finale is called The Last Day of Summer of the 4th season, and they do this whole timey-wimey thing and whatever.
So there's the one where Phineas kisses
Isabella,
and then Ferb drives off with Vanessa.
That's Act Your Age. Yes, that is Act Your Age.
Because Ferb has tastes.
Yes, exactly.
Taste.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I don't know. It is what it is. All right, 2008.
I'm not knocking, because like I said, it was a very strong second contender for me.
Yeah, absolutely. 2008 was rough for me, and I did not and have not decided between these because, one, I resisted this show for the longest time because I just don't. I've already covered this show on a different podcast years ago, and I was fine with it, and I'm fine with it now. But for years I had resisted, and it's not a show I've ever gone back to since we covered the show on the other podcast. So I'm probably going to pick the other choice that I have here. But 2008 was rough. I couldn't find anything that I'm like, oh my God, this is my favorite, or this is this, or this is that. Because it just didn't, like, literally I thought, because originally I knew that Transformers Animated had its sort of like early debut in 2007, and then I thought the actual show didn't debut in 2008, so I thought it was going to be listed in 2000. Anyway, my two choices are Breaking Bad or The Sweet Life on Deck.
Oh my God.
There was nothing else that I saw in this year. Oh my God. What the fuck is wrong with me? No,
I don't know.
No! Stop! I'm not even.
I don't know how those two shows can be mentioned in the same breath.
No! Stop it! I need to stop. I need to stop right now because I don't know how I did not even think of this. How did I not even think of Mike? What the fuck is wrong with you? And now I need to double check. Boy, I'm gonna have a lot of editing to do in this episode. Because how did I not remember this? I am such a moron. Thank God.
Is it better than Sweet Life on Deck?
Oh, it
could anything be better than Sweet Life on Deck? Dak and Cody?
It has to be. Oops, that's not what I needed to type. Come on, phone, do your job. Oh, thank God. Okay, so there's a third choice, and that's the actual choice. Okay, so for me, like, I've never seen Weeds because my only aversion to Weeds and Breaking Bad is they are television shows set around drugs, doing drugs, or dealing drugs. I was a DARE kid, drug abuse resistance education. I've never done drugs my entire life. I have no interest in ever doing drugs, and I don't particularly care to watch shows or movies. Like, if it's in a movie, fine, whatever, I can deal with it, but I don't want to have to watch a whole television show about a drug dealer or about this or about that. And I know that's base level, basic bitch bullshit, like, get the fuck over it, watch the show and enjoy it, whatever, fine. And I did, because my buddy Ryan and I covered all 5 seasons of Breaking Bad on our old TV podcast called Remote Control. And I liked the show for what it was. But it's not a show I would ever...
Question mark?
What? Huh?
Brilliant? Question mark? Masterpiece? Question mark?
Yes, no, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not saying it isn't.
I mean, it's no Sweet Life on Deck, but I mean, it was pretty good.
Did I ever say? You
used them in the same breath?
Just because I used them in the same breath does not mean that
they shouldn't be on the same planet.
Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, they debuted in the same year. It's not my fault they debuted in the same year.
But I mean, just okay. So what's your actual choice? What's your actual choice?
The Knight Rider continuation series from NBC, starring Justin Bruning and other people that starred in it, where you had what's his name?
Him.
William Fichtner as the voice of Kit. No, not William Fichtner. Damn it! Who the hell is the voice of Kit in that show?
No.
Val Kilmer. God damn it! May you rest in peace. Yes. Huh. Let me just hang on a second. Give me a minute here.
Sir, a night industry vehicle has just been taken.
We must stop them.
Car, stop!
Kit must be stopped.
No. Kit is no longer important. You have everything you need. Let him go.
My analysis indicates that Kit is a potential threat. I will not allow for the possibility of being shut down again.
I'm giving you a direct order. Stand down.
I take orders from my creator, Dr. Charles Grayman.
Grayman is dead. I'm next in command. You take orders from me.
Your reasoning is correct. You are, in fact, next in command. I do take orders from you. Now, we are one, and I give the orders.
Yes, in the 2008 Knight Rider series, the voice of Kit was provided by the late great Val Kilmer. And that is the choice for 2008, because when that show when that was announced, I was like, because before that we had from 1995 Team Knight Rider. Nobody wants to watch Team Knight Rider. Trust me, I've done it for you so you don't have to. That show was horrible. It was just...
I mean, if you hated it, it must be bad.
they took the Knight Rider concept and put it into 5 different vehicles. They basically tried to make Power Rangers.
Oh, it was like Voltron Knight Rider.
Yeah, Voltron Power Rangers.
Thunderbirds Knight Rider.
Yep. The 2008 series only lasted 1 season because it put way too. It had a custom Ford Mustang as the car. Ford put all the money into that show. It only got 1 season. David Hasselhoff did return as Michael Knight for like 1 cameo at the end. It was okay storytelling. The best part of it, the one good thing, is that Peter Cullen did return as the voice of Carr, because they did try to because again, it was meant to be a continuation of the 1982 series. So they did try to tie it all back to whatever. So you do have Peter Cullen as the voice of Carr instead of Paul Frees, because obviously Paul Frees at the time had already been long gone. So Peter Cullen did return as the voice. So you have certain things from the original series returning and things like that. But in general, unfortunately, it wasn't that great. However, because, it's Knight Rider and it's me, and I really did enjoy most of that series. Yeah, that's my pick for 2008. It's not award-winning television, but it's my life, and I'll podcast if I want to.
Good list, buddy.
2009, runners up. I cannot believe these 2 things debuted in the same year: Pawn Stars and Shark Tank. 2 very opposite reality shows.
Or as the Hollywood producer said, Pawn Shop over and over again.
Yeah.
And I corrected him, which is why I'm still in Springfield.
Yep. NCIS LA debuted this year, which I love NCIS LA.
I didn't even know there was an LA one.
Yep. Starring LL Cool J and Robin himself, Chris O'Donnell. So there's NCIS LA. Iron Man Armored Adventures was a cartoon series that debuted this year. But the choice goes to White Collar from USA Network, starring Tim DeKay, Matt Bomer, and more, starring the late, great Willie Garson. Willie Garson played Mozzie on the show.
Wait! When you're on the toughest case of your FBI career, you call on the one man who can solve it, even if that man lives here.
I'll help you catch him.
Even if you're the one who put him there.
We're onto something here.
So I won't wait up.
I've been released into the custody of the FBI under your supervision.
If you run, you're back here for good.
Meet world-class con artist, white-collar thief, and flirt, Neil Caffrey. To solve the hardest crime,
it's a forgery.
Hire the smartest criminal. Tiffany Thiessen, Tim DeKay, and Matt Bomer. White Collar, a new original series coming this fall to USA. Characters welcome.
I think it's cute.
I think it's adorable. I'm putting you back in prison.
It's basically, again, this whole... Think of Dexter, but not as horrifying as Dexter. It's white-collar crime, so Matt Bomer's character, Neil Caffrey, is a bond forger, and he also forges other art pieces and things like that. He was convicted of bond forgery. He gets released into the custody of the FBI, and he gets to work cases with the FBI to work off his sentence. It had 6 seasons. It was supposed to have a reunion film that was supposed to pay homage to the late, great Willie Garson. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I just absolutely love that show. It's so good. Any thoughts on 2009, sir?
Nope, never watched White Collar, or I think any of the things you mentioned. So.
All right. 2010, we got Covert Affairs, Transformers Prime, Storage Wars, and American Pickers. Are you sensing a theme here at the end of some of these?
Well, this is when the recession had hit, and a lot of reality shows started becoming it had a second wave of popularity.
Yep. Covert Affairs was what's her name? She was in Rocky and Bullwinkle.
June Foray?
No, not the cartoon, the live action version.
Sally Struthers or Sally Kellerman?
No. Damn it.
Does it matter?
Piper Perabo. That's who it is. It's Piper Perabo and a bunch of other people, but it's basically it's another one of those covert affairs, CIA, this, that, and the other thing, everything else. Transformers Prime was the CGI 2010 series that they did after Transformers Animated. Everybody should know what Storage Wars is.
Yep.
I was kind of hoping not to have to.
Are you going to pick American Pickers?
No.
You going to pick a peck of pickers?
No, I haven't even. Hey man, look, that show was pretty cool, and may Frank rest in peace. Because Frank's no longer with us. But the choice is something I haven't even mentioned yet. It is a Law and Order and NCIS actresses come together into one show. It's Angie Harmon and what's her name? Oh God,
I don't know.
It's Angie Harmon and Sasha Alexander as Rizzoli and Isles on TNT. So Sasha Alexander played Kate Todd in the first number of seasons of NCIS, and Angie Harmon was Abby Carmichael on Law and Order in whichever seasons of Law and Order she was on. She was under Jack McCoy. She was one of the ADAs under Jack McCoy for the longest time. Rizzoli and Isles is basically, again, it's another one of those. I think they even say this in the series. Originally, this was a series of books that became a television show. I forget. I think it's Janet something that wrote the books. I don't have the information in front of me.
Ivanovich?
No, it wasn't Janet Ivanovich. I would have said that immediately. But it's basically a cop meets medical examiner kind of thing. They kind of have a Kate and Allie kind of vibe. It's back and forth, back and forth. Lee Thompson Young is on the show up until he would tragically pass away. He plays Detective Barry Frost. Bruce McGill is on this show as a senior detective. Yeah, no, this show is just so cool. It's just so fun because it's like two very different, like Jane's character, who is Angie Harmon, and Maura's character, who is Sasha Alexander. Maura is more prim and proper, and Jane is more brash.
The original Odd Couple.
Kind of, yeah. But the other thing for me, the reason why it's my favorite, set in Boston. Anytime you set anything in Boston, as long as I've seen it and as long as I have an attachment to it, it gets the win. But no, literally, I love watching this show. And again, like I said, with Lee Thompson Young playing Detective Barry Frost, this would be his last role. Before this, I had seen him on Disney Channel as Jet Jackson. He was the famous Jet Jackson on the Disney Channel. So yeah, that's the choice for 2010. Any comments?
Never said anything in North Carolina.
Okay. Funny. You mentioned that.
I'm sure they do, but like I'm just saying, like, you're like, they said anything in Boston. I'm like, well, they never said anything in North Carolina, and I hate Illinois, so.
Okay. It's funny you mentioned that, and I know you're not going to go back and watch. I don't even think you can go back and watch this because I don't think it's on anywhere anymore, unfortunately. But I mentioned where I saw Lee Thompson Young originally on the famous Jet Jackson on the Disney Channel. That show is basically him becoming a movie star and moving from North Carolina to LA.
So it's set in LA.
It's set in LA, but they go back to North Carolina every now and then. Because he goes home every time, whatever, because they fly back and forth. So, anyway, 2011. This is where, oh boy. So we have 3 reality shows. We have 4 or 5 different action shows here. So the reality shows, The Voice, Bar Rescue, and Homicide Hunter. Yes, Bar Rescue with John Taffer. Love that show. The Voice, Bar Rescue, and Homicide Hunter, Lieutenant Jokenda all debuted this year. The very short-lived, I don't even think it got a full season pickup, but The Playboy Club on NBC debuted this year. Person of Interest with Jim Caviezel and Michael Emerson was on CBS. Ringer was on WB or CW or whatever it is. That was with Sarah Michelle Gellar and somebody else. I forget off the top of my head. I think Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four at the time. Ian Grufford, or maybe that's something else. I forget. Unforgettable with Poppy Montgomery on CBS. And then what's her name? Oh God, Emily something, not Van Camp.
Is this your pick?
No.
Then move on.
Yeah. Revenge debuted on ABC that year. The pick is the reality show Homicide Hunter, Lieutenant Jokenda.
There is no such thing as a perfect murder. A murder is anything but perfect. A murder is messy. A murderer always leaves something behind. If you kill, I will find you.
Homicide Hunter, all new Tuesday at 9, only on Investigation Discovery.
By this time when this debuted on Investigation Discovery, I was full in on Investigation Discovery. I was full in on Investigation Discovery for about a year by this time this debuted. This is about a cop who was in the city of Colorado Springs from 73 to 96. So for about those 20 or so years, he was a policeman who moved up in the ranks of the Colorado Springs Police Department. And I just like his story. I just like hearing the guy. I have his audiobooks, and it was just a good thing. 2012. I mentioned this to you in our text group. I'm like, 2012 is going to have an interesting runner-up. Toy Hunter debuted in 2012 on the Travel Channel.
Ugh.
Starting March 7th on OLN.
I just touched a $17,000 toy.
These might be toys, but this is no game.
If this was in the package, I'd be paying you $1,000, $2,000 for one.
Are you serious?
Join host Jordan Hembrow as he scours the U.S. in search of toy gold. To play with these toys, you have to be a player.
Transformer fan, right? Just a little bit. This is a cool toy.
Toy Hunter. Thursdays at 9, starting March 7th on OLN.
I will say that I personally know David Gall, and he's a good guy. I like him, but I do not like that show. It also cost me $1,000. So.
Yeah. You also had TMNT 2012, the 2012 series for TMNT debuting on Nickelodeon, I believe. You had Arrow, which is the start of the Arrowverse from the CW in that year. But the choice has to go to the Dallas continuation on TNT. Unfortunately, Steve Megatron would say, oh, it's not going to last after like the third season, and it did eventually get canceled. But I was honestly surprised Larry Hagman was still alive and available to even play the role. But they updated, they did a continuation.
Bard alumni. I went to Bard College, and he's an alumni.
Oh, very cool.
I believe so.
Oh, very cool. They did good updatings with the cast for the kids, for JR and Christopher. Patrick Duffy returned as Bobby.
But there's a play to be made with the woman at the DCT. We can fix this.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, don't you worry, son. I've got a plan. It's going to be my masterpiece. Because you shouldn't have to pay for my sins.
What do you mean?
Just remember, I'm proud of you. You're my son. From tip to tail.
Thank you, Daddy. It means a whole lot for me to hear you say that. JR? Hello? Dad! Dad! Dad?
And there were just a few great episodes in the story they told with JR's return and everything. It was just a fun little short-lived 3-season revival.
Well, it seemed like he was doing really well, and then he died. And I think that's what kind of knocked it off.
He passed away. 2013 was a rough year. 2013 is basically it's either murder or house hunting. So you either got red rum, you got red rum on Investigation Discovery, which the cool thing about this show is it's your traditional murder investigation show, but they do it like from the backwards. Like they do this fast forward rewind thing where they start you out at a certain point and then they keep going back and then they fast forward back to where you are now. It was really, that's why it's murder backwards. And then Flipper Flop was at the time before they went through all their divorces and separations and whatever. It was Tarek and Christina, whatever their last name is. It was, yeah, but I'll go with the murder show for 2013 because I had never seen a reality, a true crime show do the presentation like that. 2014 features Girl Meets World, Married at First Sight / Married at First Sight the first year. Red Band Society, Scorpion, The Flash, Wahlburgers, and The 7D. So my mom was always a huge fan of 1937's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I've known a few other people who have been a huge fan of the original first Disney animated film.
I have a very close friend whose mother was also a huge fan of the original, which is why she's now which is why my friend is a huge Disney girl, or was before Disney decided to destroy their legacy. But yes, I know someone who has a big attachment to the original Snow White and Seven Dwarfs.
Yes. I don't have such a big attachment to the original.
Me either.
I like it. It's okay.
Never seen it.
Okay. I think I've seen it maybe twice since 1990, twice in the last 30 years. That's, yeah. And before that, I think I had maybe seen it once or twice when I was a kid. However, the choice is, I mean, first of all, Wahlburgers, say what you will about Mark Wahlberg and all that and whatever.
He's a carbon-based life form who exists.
Yes, but what I liked about Wahlburgers as a reality show is you're showing me the restaurant that the brother, Paul, runs. I mean, technically they all run it, but it's showing it from the point of the chef and that point, and you have Mark and Donnie and everybody kind of come in and out and whatever, but it's supposed to be from the point of Paul, kind of thing. And that's what I liked about that. And obviously it's Boston. However, that's not even the choice. The choice is because it was so different, and thank God they removed Snow White and all the baggage. You got Maurice LaMarche as Grumpy. You've got Stephen Stanton as Sneezy. You've got Kevin Michael Richardson you got the 7D from Disney. The first time I've ever absolutely loved anything from the Snow White franchise, because I will say it is a franchise because they constantly reboot the damn film. But the 7D cartoon, it only got 2 seasons, but the adventures that the Seven Dwarfs go on and the comedy. You got Billy West is Bashful. Oh my God, it's hilarious. It's so funny. I absolutely love it.
I'll slow her down, fellas. You get Sonny to the horizon and save the breakfast brew, ha 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 ha.
You want help?
But what about your dream breakfast? You might miss it.
Hey, I care about you more than any old egg sandwich.
Oh, Grumpy.
Don't go there. I'm on the verge.
See you in Jollywood.
It is so funny. Thoughts, 2014?
We have a Wahlburger at the Hy-Vee. I ate there once.
Yep. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. We have, we had, since I'm not living there anymore.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure we still have it. It's been a while.
Yeah. Where is that photo? I meant to send this to, did I send that photo to you?
You did send it to me.
Okay. Yeah, I did. Okay. I sent you a photo from, I think, 2018 it was 2019. Right before, Karen, my late wife, went out to, right before we went out to Washington State. We went to Wahlburgers in down in Chicago. First time I'd ever been there, obviously. So that was fun. But yeah, no, very, very cool. None of anybody was there. It was just a regular restaurant. Like Paul wasn't there, Donnie wasn't. Nobody was there. that day. But 2015. I put this on the list just because I've interviewed one of the people that, and I kind of like the premise of it a little bit, even though it's very childish. But a buddy of mine who used to do a bunch of podcasts that I used to listen to, he's also a voice actor, got to do a couple of voices on this show. Ever After High, it's an animated series where all of the fairy tale people go to high school. So it's a Snow White, it's a Cinderella, it's a this, but they're all in high school. He got to do the narrator voice character thing. Joe Sanfilippo is his name, and Joe's an awesome dude. I was hoping to catch up with him one of these years. That's not the choice though, but just wanted to mention that. 2015 also had debuts for Netflix's Daredevil. There was a series called Humans on AMC, which is a really interesting show. And then DC had Supergirl debut in 2015 on CBS. The choice goes to Daredevil because it blew me away.
When I was a kid, I used to dream what it would be like to live somewhere far away from Hell's Kitchen. But I realized the city was a part of me. It was in my blood, and I would do anything to make it a better place.
Good and evil. Sometimes the difference between the two is a sharp line. Sometimes it's a blur. Sometimes we have to do things outside of the law.
We're gonna make a difference. I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes, but we are.
You're blind, but you see so much.
I hear things.
You know what they call stuff like that? Gifts. I'm gonna train you. Use it.
There are other ways to see.
I don't see the city anymore. There's only dark corners.
I'll keep you safe, Karen. I have to be the man this city needs.
What are you gonna do?
Whatever it takes.
We fight every night for something. When the sun sets, we're both the same.
You and I have a lot in common. We're nothing alike.
We can't go back for nothing. Say what you need, say your goodbye.
Another man's evil does not make you good. I respect your conviction. The lone man thinks he can make a difference.
This darkness is the light.
I'm just trying to make my city a better place.
Maybe if he had an iron suit or a magic hammer, that would explain why you keep getting your asses handed to you.
Vincent D'Onofrio. I said in the movie show, 2003 Daredevil with Michael Clark Duncan. At the time in 2003, there was nobody that could have played that role. Here we are 12 years later in 2015 with TV, with Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin. Hands down, best Kingpin. I mean, Michael Clark Duncan, amazing. Simply amazing for what the time was and everything else, but...
Well, John Rhys Davies was also good in Trial of the Incredible Hulk.
Huh?
Sala, John Rhys Davies.
Sala
was the Kingpin in Trial of the Incredible Hulk.
Trial of the Incredible... What the hell is the Trial of the Incredible Hulk?
It was a TV movie. They kept, like in the 80s, they were trying to bring back the Hulk.
God.
And they had like Thor in one of the episodes, and they had Trial of the Incredible Hulk, where it was Daredevil. And he wore the black stocking costume, and John Rhys Davies was the Kingpin, and he escaped in a little tiny a little G.I. Joe hovercraft thing at the end. It was not good, but I'm just saying he played the Kingpin.
Cool.
You were talking about all the past Kingpin. I agree. D'Onofrio's the best Kingpin of the bunch. Agreeing with that. Like he was my favorite thing. Like, first of all, I breathed a heavy sigh of relief when you picked Daredevil. I do think the first season of Supergirl, actually the CBS season, when it had a budget, was actually surprisingly good, but I think Calista Flockhart was actually pretty good in that show. But Daredevil was just at the time a revelation. It blew. I think it blew everybody away, and D'Onofrio was brilliant as the Kingpin.
I think it was season 2, episode 7 or 8. I forget.
Oh, the one in the prison?
No.
Oh, the prison one's so good.
Yeah,
That's when he becomes the Kingpin. That's when he becomes the Kingpin. He's just Wilson Fisk the first season. Yeah. And then in season 2, there's like the Punisher story, there's the episode in prison, and then there's the Elektra story. And the episode in prison is when he becomes the Kingpin. And it is so good.
It had to have been the second season. Maybe it was the first season. I don't know. This is something so trivial and so stupid to me. But at one point, okay, you know how most of these things will hit like if you're in the Eastern time zone, it'll hit at like, at least back in those days on Netflix, it would hit at like 3 a.m. and midnight Pacific time kind of thing. And if you're 3 a.m. on the Eastern time zone and you can't sleep because of your insomnia or whatever, I can watch it. And generally you're like, okay, fine. I'm going to make sure I don't say anything. I'm going to make sure I don't say anything. Oh, hey, I liked this piece of filming. So I was up. I was like, I don't know, 8 or so episodes into whatever. I don't even remember that's why I said I thought it was season 2. Whatever the staircase scene is, I forget. That's why I think it's the second season.
I think there's staircase scenes in every season.
Okay,
fine. Because it became a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was a hallway. Fine. I think it was hallway in season 1. There was the stairway, I think, was when Punisher provokes an attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was like when I don't know. All as I remember is there was a stairway scene where Daredevil was flipping around and swinging around and doing all kinds of stuff in the stairwell. All as I said on Twitter at the time was, wow, is this stairway scene in Daredevil an awesome piece of filmmaking? All of a sudden, this dude that I had known for, I don't know, at least the last 7 years, and I had done a bunch of stuff. Oh my God, we can't be friends anymore. You spoiled the hell out of the show. What is spoiling? Anything about the plot of the show? Where I say this is a great piece of filmmaking?
Apparently, you told people there was a stairwell.
Yeah, like,
I don't go into a show expecting to see a stairwell. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I have a very dear friend who also is hyper spoiler phobic.
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but like, come on.
Like, I'm with you on this. I'm being facetious.
I know you are.
No, a stairwell.
Yeah, I know.
I just thought they all took elevators everywhere.
Exactly.
Thanks for ruining the show for me.
Elevator go down the hole.
No, it was Ducky go down the hole. Paper go down the hole.
Yep. Paper
no come back.
Paper no come back. All right, 2016. 2016. Well, we had Lethal Weapon with Damon Wayans and Clay Crawford. So there was that. They tried to reboot Lethal Weapon as a TV series. It was okay. Wasn't bad. It was okay. Wasn't great, but it wasn't. It was middle ground. Then there was Justice League Action. This was a show, like, I haven't even watched all of these cartoon episodes for this, but there's one scene that I watch over and over in my head, and I watch it online. It's the interrogation scene where Superman and Batman are interrogating Deadshot. And Superman is playing the bad cop and Batman is playing the good cop. Oh my God, it's so hilarious. I'll probably drop the audio in here somewhere.
All right, Deadshot. We need a name, and we want it right now. Oh, whoops. A little too hard. Sorry, Batman. That's nothing compared to what I'm about to do to you, Deadshot, if I don't get what I want now.
What?
You'd better watch yourself with my partner here. Any little thing can set him off.
Superman? We talking about the same guy here?
Why don't you step out, Batman? I want to have a little private talk with Deadshot here. Let's put a little light on the subject. Oh, sorry. Too bright? I mean, that's nothing compared to my heat vision, which would really do some serious damage. So, talk.
You gotta be kidding.
Coffee?
Gah, don't do that!
I thought you might like coffee. It's good.
Why are you showing me your teeth? What is that?
You're gonna need that coffee after I get through with you.
Donut?
Gah, get that away from me. Is it poison?
It's chocolate.
Oh, I'll talk. I'll tell you everything. Just get him out of here.
It's Superman voiced by somebody, but it's Batman voiced by Kevin Conroy, and it's Christian Slater voices Deadshot. So hilarious. So funny. But the choice goes to a very, very short-lived series called The Catch. This was on ABC. I think it only got one season. This is one of those shows where it's a mystery gotcha novel kind of thing, where it's a spy type of series and they run an information thing that, like, this woman, they run this kind of agency and they're supposed to be doing this, they're supposed to be doing that, but she actually ends up getting duped by her partner's friend's uncle's cousin's dog or something. Or it's a really cool, fun spy show, and I absolutely caught this in late 2016 after I got duped over a couple of things, and I was like, oh, this is fun. I'd rather watch this than go through what I went through.
You're a cop?
Private investigator.
In the last 9 months, this Mr. X has stolen $5 million from two of our biggest clients.
We don't know who he is. We don't know what he looks like.
Let's catch this guy.
LA's top PI is in hot pursuit of a world-class con man.
He's gone. We lost him.
He's always one step ahead of us.
There's only one catch.
I'm sorry, babe. I'm sure you're closer than you think.
He's the love of her life.
Honey, please, let me see.
1, 2, 3, see him looking at me. What do you think?
I think you should take it off.
Ain't no thing I gotta agree. See you tonight.
Bye.
He's gone. Christopher is gone. He took my entire life savings.
You took everything?
Everything.
Why would a con artist target a private investigator? That's how he stayed one step ahead of us the whole time. Christopher is Mr. X. I'll find him.
Wanna play? Let's play.
The Catch, series premiere Thursday, March 24th on ABC.
So there's that. So that's 2016. Any questions?
Nope.
All right, 2017. Only two options. There is what I chose and what I didn't choose. Now, I enjoy this, but I didn't choose this because I don't go back and rewatch this. But 2017, The Toys That Made Us debuted that year. Very awesome, very interesting, very cool. Absolutely love seeing the history of the toys that made us, and to a lesser, not necessarily lesser extent, but to a, more extent later, we have the movies that made us, etc., etc., etc. Also that year that debuted, again, one season, APB debuted on Fox. APB is another cop drama thing.
We enhanced the torque on the engine, so when you guys accelerate, you're gonna want to hang on.
Enhanced? How much we talking?
About 350 foot-pounds, 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. You're basically gonna be the fastest things on the road.
Right. So, what happens when we catch up to the guy?
The idea is to deploy a spike strip. That's what I'm working on right now.
Hey, I know this may sound weird, but, have I seen you before?
Follow wrestling?
Holy hell. You're Blockhead.
I'm sorry, who?
The only pro wrestler to get the U.S. Intercontinental and the tag team belt at the same time.
Welcome to the block party.
Yeah!
Yeah, after a career breaking chairs over people's heads, Pete got a PhD in electrical engineering from Georgia Tech.
came to work for me.
And it was Chicago. It was, what if Chicago had this billionaire named Gideon Reeves that came into the 13th district of Chicago that cleaned it up, and the mayor is against him and everybody else is against him, but this cop, Teresa, actually wants to give him a chance, and it was just a fun little 12-episode show, unfortunately. But what I got out of that was a bunch of cool songs and a bunch of cool tech, and just a lot of fun that year. 2018 is a
2017
show.
was APB?
Yeah, APB.
Okay.
Yep. 2018, there's only one choice, no runners up. It was an NBC show called Reverie.
What's your all-time favorite memory? The most beautiful, mind-blowing place you can remember?
When I was, 10. My mother took me and my sister Jamie to this field just full of paper lanterns. It was like floating in space.
What if you can revisit that moment anytime you wanted?
Reverie, what does it do?
Reverie is a place where the impossible becomes possible. You're put inside a waking dream of your own design. Problem is, some of our users decided that life in Reverie is better than the one out here. Their bodies have gone into a coma. They're trapped.
What exactly is it that you want me to do?
What you did for me on the force. Hostage negotiation. I want you to go inside Reverie and bring them back.
This is the brain-computer interface that runs the program. It's the only one like it in the world.
You have to undergo the implant procedure.
I designed the boundaries of reality within the program, the science of creating dreams. I'm going to give you a crash course, just enough to make you dangerous. Shall we begin?
So, I can do anything I want?
Physical laws don't necessarily apply in Reverie. You'll learn to deprogram your fear response.
She picked it up faster than we did, and we built it.
This is a chance to bring families back together again.
I promise I'm gonna do everything I can to bring your dad back.
We have no idea what's going to happen when we put a second person inside someone's Reverie. You have no right to be here.
If you stay here any longer, you will never come back.
I've only been here a couple of days.
You've been here for weeks.
There are significant anomalies. We have to tell her.
I want to go back in.
This was God. This I actually have to look up myself. I remember it, but I have to look it up to give you the actual details. So this was science fiction drama television series. It only another first season, 10 episodes. Hostage negotiator Mara Kent, an expert in human behavior, takes a job saving people who are lost in advanced virtual reality simulation. Reverie is in the process. She begins to work through a personal tragedy in her own past. The cast here is Dennis Haysbert, Jessica Lau, and Catherine Morris from Cold Cases in it, starring Sarah Shahi, who is also in Person of Interest. She was Shaw in Person of Interest. That was the main, other than the virtual reality storyline thing, that was the main reason that I liked this show at the time, and I still like the show now, was that she was starring in it because I remembered her from Person of Interest. 2019 is the movies that made us. I just listed this instead of listing there's like 3 different ones, but I've been watching HGTV for decades now. And in 2019, they did a lot of, like, instead of the house touring, like instead of House Hunters, whatever else, and home makeover stuff, they still do that. But in 2019, they did a lot of they did like 4 different pool. I just said all the pool shows any pool makeover shows. I was like, that is so cool. Absolutely love that. But the choice comes down to, once again, Scooby-Doo and Guess Who.
Oh, I have no idea.
So Scooby-Doo and Guess Who was a show that lasted for, I think, 2 or 3 seasons.
Oh yeah, it was based off the old '70s one where they would have.
Yes, it was based off of Scooby-Doo Mysteries, or
like Don Knotts and Mama Cass and Batman and Robin.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Basically that same thing. Again, one of the episodes, Batman came back, and again, it was Kevin Conroy as Batman. I thought it was so cool. They had Wanda Sykes on this episode, on this series. They had a whole bunch of stuff.
It was basically just a heist.
Not basically, Sweater Girl. It was going to be one of the biggest heists of all time.
Technically, it was a kidnapping.
As I was saying, before being so rudely interrupted, I won't mention any names. Cough, cough. Batman, cough, cough. I need a lot of money to fund all my great escapades and capers. I brought Alfred here to help me access Bruce Wayne's bank accounts. He just needed a little persuasion.
2020 was kind of rough, in case you didn't notice, folks. But Transformers War for... Yeah, 2020 was rough. 2020 was rough. But
it was a breeze. Great.
No, it wasn't. No.
It's great.
You're lying. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to us. But Transformers War for Cybertron. It was the first Netflix series of 3 in the War for Cybertron trilogy.
I have done what I have to do to end this war. Honor will not win this war. This is the final day of the Autobot resistance. I cannot help but ask myself, is this a hopeless crusade? Have my actions led to the extinction of our people? The Allspark is a vessel of life in the hands of Megatron. There's no telling what he might do. The Allspark, yes.
A clean and decisive victory.
If we continue on this course, no one will be left to win. The circle closes, Prime. You are defeated. We end this war now.
I really dug it. I wish they would have done a little bit more. But it was... I wish they would have done a little bit more as far as episode count and time length. Like, time length, I guess, was okay. I think they were 20-minute episodes. Maybe there were only 6 episodes each. I don't know what Hasbro and Netflix agreed to, but War for Cybertron, Earthrise, and Kingdom, each of the series got 18 episodes for these 3 series total. That's like one season of Generation 1. I'm sitting here thinking, come on, and I get it. Netflix has that model now of, here, let's give you micro doses. I don't want micro doses. I want all of it. I want everything, but it is what it is. 2021 had the debuts of Superman and Lois, as well as the animated What If, and the choice goes to Marvel, goes to What If.
I am the Watcher. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and ponder the question,
What if?
I have not seen the third season yet, but I did watch the first two seasons. We did do two podcasts or a number of podcasts on the first two seasons of What If. I loved What If. I remember reading the comics for What If way back in the day as a kid. But what I love about this What If is it's Jeffrey Wright as the voice of the Watcher. And it basically takes the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff and basically puts it on its head and does all kinds of timey-wimey stuff with it. And by like I think the 6th or 7th or whatever episode of the second season, it turns it into a full-on story narrative where it's
I think it was the first season. I had the whole Ultron, Super Ultron thing.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the first season. Then. But yeah, no, I absolutely loved What If for 2021.
What if?
2022 is something I only saw recently in the last couple of years.
By definition.
Yes, by definition. Second season we just finished up, which you fine people would have probably already heard the podcast because by now I probably would have edited them and had them online. But as of now, I don't have them edited or have them online. But little known Star Wars show by the name of Andor.
I have friends everywhere.
Okay. Interesting choice.
Yeah, no. Well, again, looking at the 2022 list, I'm like, what was I actively watching in 2022 and what have I seen since then from 2022? And I'm like, yeah, Andor is the only option that I can actively choose that I can say that I actively watched from that year. Because in 2022, because you have to remember, okay, you don't have to remember, I'll remind people. In November of 2021, Karen died. From November of 2021 to June of 2022, I had to basically find a whole new way of life. I had to move from Washington State to Indiana. Kind of don't have time to watch TV in 2022. Like, don't have time at all. And most of my time wasn't doing any, like I did some podcasting in 2022, but not a lot, not until I got settled here. So like, yeah, I wasn't really watching or paying attention to anything. So going back now and being able to list that as my 2022 choice now that I've seen all of Andor at this point. Yeah, no, and Andor is very, very awesome, I hope. Fingers crossed we get a third season, maybe, hopefully. I don't know.
You're joking.
I said maybe, hopefully.
Boy, I hate to spoil this for you, but there's a movie called Rogue One.
Yeah, I know, but they could still...
They could still what? I suppose Dave Filoni could have somebody go through the fucking eye of whatever and pull Andor off of Scarif through time travel, because he did that for his waifu.
Did they show him on Scarif at the end of season 2?
No, he was on his way to the thing at the beginning of Rogue One.
Right. But at the end of season 2 of the series, where is Andor?
He's literally on the U-Wing on the way to the big space thing that he meets the guy and shoots him.
Yeah. Wait. That shoots Andor?
No, Andor shoots that guy.
Yeah, Andor shoots, yeah. So there's still plenty of time between...
There is not plenty of time.
It's television. They can make all the time they want, Dave.
Number one,
anyway.
That's the worst nerd impulse is, I want more. Like, no, this is perfect.
What?
This is perfect. Leave it alone.
That's fine. And
make something new. How crazy would it be if we got something new? I don't want something new. I want more of the same but different.
Look, I've been screaming for new shit for like the last decade. And every time they try, they fuck it up and they do something wrong and they go back to the same old shit that they've been doing for the last 70 years. So what do you want from me? I don't know. 2023, the Night Court reboot or continuation, whatever you want to call it, since technically she plays his daughter. and then Ahsoka. The choice is Ahsoka because I've only technically seen one episode of Night Court, and that was when Howard returned as a different character, but it was still her husband.
Okay. You know what? Okay, there are years where I didn't watch much and had to pick something that I didn't like either.
Okay. And again, because
I will recognize Missouri before I say Ahsoka is my favorite anything.
Look,
He should have
I
died
liked
at
it
Darth
for
Vader's
what-
hands.
Oh, shut up.
Stupid Ezra went back in time because Dave Filoni has a pillow. No, I'm going too far. I've gone too far. He's a married man. I'm sure he's very happily married. To a human woman and not a Japanese pillow that looks like Ahsoka Tano.
2024. So it was all thanks to Stephen Colbert that I got introduced to Taylor Tomlinson, and then I went down the rabbit hole of watching her Netflix comedy specials and other stuff. And then she got her own late show with After Midnight because she replaced somebody on that. And After Midnight was a cool, like, it was a late show, but it was a late show where it was a game show combined with an interview show. That was kind of cool. However, that's not the 2024 show choice because, folks, like I've said, in the last couple of years, I haven't watched a lot of TV, so the choices are kind of getting slimmer and slimmer here. But 2024 also had NCIS Origins. This is the story that Gibbs never tells. Oh my God, we finally see Gibbs's origin, or part of it, kind of, sort of, but we see Gibbs as a probie. Holy crap. I was like, wow, this is great. Because again, I've seen like 6, 7, or 8 seasons out of like the 20 seasons that NCIS, 20 or so seasons NCIS has. And yeah, like NCIS Origins, that first season of it, or the first, I think it has 1 or 2 seasons. I don't remember off the top of my head. But just absolutely dug it. I thought it was cool. I thought they did a great job of doing the whole thing of, it only has 1 season, 18 episodes. I thought it was really great how they they cast the younger person as Gibbs, and they worked on all the stuff. And yeah, I was like, oh my God, I that was one where I was like, okay, you have to do a second season to give us more, because they left it on plenty of, like, he still has plenty of stories they can tell. So, all right, folks, editor TFG1Mike here, and NCIS Origins does have 2 seasons. As of the recording of this podcast, it only had 1 season when I just mentioned it just now. But as of the publication of this podcast, NCIS Origins has 2 seasons under its belt. Now back to the show.
How'd your boy do out there? If he is not up to snuff, cut him loose.
Ain't gotta worry about Gibbs.
He failed his psych eval. That is the definition of crazy. If my wife and daughter were murdered, I would be crazy too.
The newly minted Special Agent Gibbs.
Ready to catch some bad guys?
Welcome to the nut house, sweetie.
If you need anything, I'm here.
At ease, Marine. I ain't your commanding officer, I'm just your boss.
Yes, sir.
Gear up.
Where's my gear?
No matter how hard you try, or how far you go,
Watch your step, Marine.
You're on my squad?
Nope, you're on mine.
you can't ever leave it all behind. They kept me up. A voice, a scream, the kind you feel instead of hear. My gut.
You get a gut feeling, you share it with the group.
There is no such thing as a clean slate.
You're a Navy cop now? You're not built for that, son.
They're always with you. The stories you've told, The ones you never could.
Good work, Proby.
This is a story I don't tell.
NCIS Origins premieres CBS Monday, October 14th. Part of CBS Premiere Week and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Is the goth chick in it?
No, Abby is not there yet.
Stop
it! Oh my God, he's a Proby. She's probably not even born yet. Like,
well, she could go through the well of whatever and go back in time.
Yeah.
You can do time travel and everything. Why not?
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Why not?
Whatever. So that's 2024. And like I've said multiple times, folks, I don't watch current TV. So when this popped up, and I'm only mentioning this, we're not really picking from 2025.
Yeah, we are.
But okay, fine, we are.
I'm picking for 2025.
Okay.
Like I'm
okay, good.
I can't imagine liking anything better than my 2025 pick this year.
Okay.
I can't imagine watching TV again in 2025. So
okay. To be fair.
Like there's one movie left that I might actually like in 2025. So I was being a little bit of a nerd about like, well, I don't know, there could be another movie, but like TV shows, there's absolutely like zero chance.
Yeah, same here. That's
knock this off.
Yeah, that's why we're including 2025 in the TV version, not in the movie version. 2025, it all comes back down to Boston. It all comes back down to the home city because HBO Max, I think it was. Yeah, HBO Max released their documentary. Similar to what they did, I think, in 2018 or 2019 with The Last Dance, because I watched that one too. Celtic City, all about the Celtics.
The 2024 Boston Celtics are one of the greatest teams in NBA history. We did it! It is Banner 18.
I come to work out of respect for what people have laid here before. Red Auerbach used to say it best.
Celtic pride. That's what it's all about.
The greatest in the game, Larry Bird.
First game in Boston, player walks up to me, said, "Don't look up." All these retired numbers, championship banners.
I just thought this was normal. And then you go to other arenas and quickly realize it's not the same.
I look at that little leprechaun, and sometimes I just want to spit in his face.
The Boston Celtics bring out the worst in everybody else.
We've got a melee here in the garden.
That was the classic.
Just a classic.
Larry Bird carried the city on his back, and for a lot of people, he was going to be the savior one way or the other.
30 teams in the league, but how many got things that last forever?
The Boston Celtics have to be central to the city of Boston, and the players who play for the Celtics have to feel like Celtics.
Boston's a rough place.
The bottom line is, wasn't all ice cream and cherries. You have to tell the whole story.
Every team that's hung a banner has gone through something.
This letter was sent to the garden, and it was a threat against Bill's life and the kids.
Len Bias, with this world in front of him, gone.
Reggie Lewis, and he said his career may be over.
They're just thinking, not again.
Paul Pierce gets stabbed multiple times, almost dies.
A lot of things happening outside the arena that were difficult. But the time I spent in the locker room and on the floor with my teammates was like heaven.
Larry Bird's not walking through that door, fans. Kevin McHale's not walking through that door, and Robert Parrish is not walking through that door.
This kind of bonding will now be duplicated.
The greatest thing you can accomplish is friendship.
Thank you, Boston. I love you.
They all know each other's story, because it's all part of their story.
The Celtics are a way of life. They're not just a team. They're the Celtics.
This is 9 episodes, basically from the beginning of the Celtics all the way up to the 2024 championship, and covers the years that I was a kid, covers the years that I was watching them with my Aunt Rose. Unfortunately, my Aunt Rose passed away back in 2003. But Yeah, no. As soon as I heard about this, I don't even know how I heard about it. I don't know if it was through an Instagram clip or through something, but as soon as I was like hunting this down, like ready, I was like, okay, where's this episode? Like literally, I was on HBO Max the day that the episode was supposed to air. I'm like, why isn't it up yet? Why isn't it online yet? Where's the episode? I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just wait. And then I just started waiting. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And I just watched it whenever I had the chance to. But no, it was so nice just looking back and just seeing all the perspectives from everybody involved, seeing some of the media perspectives from the time and from the whatever, and just because like I said, the last time I was in Massachusetts, as of now, in 2025, the last time I was home was 2012. Yeah, that was the last time I was home. So it's been a while since I've been home in Massachusetts. So seeing this was like being at home again. So watching these 9 episodes, hearing the story, seeing Larry Bird, seeing Robert Parrish, seeing Danny Ainge, Kevin McHale, seeing everybody talk about the times and the whatever. Hell, even though we hated him and we still kind of hate him for all this about, blah, 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 is not walking through. Even seeing Rick Pitino talk about the Celtics just brought back a bunch of memories. Hell, seeing the early days about Red and Red Auerbach and all that, and just learning about the early, because obviously I wasn't born in 65, 66, just learning about all that stuff and everything Bill Russell went through and Havlicek and all that, and just so good, so fun. So that's my list.
Gilk. I mean, it's your list. I mean, there were some choices I agreed with, and some choices that made me go, "What?" But
what's the number one choice that made you go, "What?"
When you were like, okay, so you pulled a different choice out of your ass at the last second. But
okay.
when you were like, so I talked about Breaking Bad a lot, so I think I'm going to pick.
Okay, yeah.
Jack and Cody. I was ready to throw my phone at the computer and like unplug. like I don't care how bored you are with that show, and I heard your explanation for it, but like if you're going to pick Sweet, like I would have respected you not picking anything for that year, like The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody over Breaking Bad. It was just like, but you picked a Knight Rider thing, so it's like, okay, well, clearly he loves fucking Knight Rider.
Yep.
I'll let it go without commentary. It will come back up again in my list. I will. So yeah. I think that was. Oh, and I do not love Scrappy-Doo. Apparently, you love Scooby-Doo a lot more than I ever thought you did. Like a lot more than I thought any human being did. The Scrappy-Doo one, like, apparently you're the guy that likes Scrappy-Doo.
Yeah, I am.
A lot of it was pretty, like, you like the action-adventure stuff of the 80s. I get that.
Yep.
I mean, I really think the Sweet Life one was the one where I was just like, if you pick that, I'm done with you. I'm done with this whole mad nonsense, because really... C-tier Disney thing, like, just really over Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I didn't.
I know. You pulled the Knight Rider thing, and it's like, okay, he loves Knight. Apparently, like I thought I knew the world's biggest Knight Rider fan, but apparently I did. It just wasn't who I thought he was.
Yeah, it's me and Josh. It just
wasn't who I thought he was.
Yeah, it's me and Josh. Yeah,
I thought it was Josh. Like,
yeah, it's both of us, but he likes it for a different reason. Like, he hasn't even seen all the episodes. I was like, Josh, what? Dude, we got to get. No, what? He likes the Hoff more than he likes Knight Rider. He likes the.
Well, I assumed it was from Knight Rider. I mean, I guess I just made assumptions. I just assumed that it was based on his love of Knight. I mean, my interest in Knight Rider was mostly because I was a huge fan of St. Elsewhere. And Dr. Craig was the car. And I was like,
Dr. Craig was the car. Yep. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this episode of Studio 2009. And that's going to do it for, well, that's not going to do it for TV because we got a bunch of TV coming up.
Yeah, don't I get to do my list?
Oh yeah. But your list is well, yeah.
What?
So yeah, you get to do your list. It's just not airing next. I'm
not worried about when it's going to air.
Yeah. You're going to do your list. Yeah, we're going to record your episode, not tonight, but we'll record your episode next. But it'll air later. I know you're not worried about recording, but I'm looking at the schedule. So, folks, we just finished Columbo Season 3 before this episode. Coming up next, starting in episode 180 of the podcast, will be, this is different from what these episodes are, but we are launching. Did we already launch? Yeah, we already launched it. We launched it in episode 150. We are continuing on with the origins in television. So the difference is that the origins in television is 30 questions about your TV watching habits. So what kind of shows do you watch? What kind of habits do you have? Do you do this? Do you do that? So it's similar to the comic book stuff. It's similar to the toy collecting stuff. It's that kind of thing. So we got that with me in the hot seat. And then my buddy Optimus Solo is going to come in and I'm going to ask him the questions for that. And then you will hear the TV show choices from Mr. David Draper. And then after that, hopefully, if everything works out well, we will have the 50th anniversary of the Fake Shark. So that's what's coming up.
I mean, it's at the end of August, so I got my tickets.
Yep. Absolutely. So that's what's coming up here on Studio 2009. We are going to take a quick ad break. You're going to hear some podcast ads and some other stuff. And we'll come back to close the show right after this.
Welcome to the block party.
Hello, geeks and geekettes. Looking for a podcast that covers a vast array of topics? Then check out Altered Geek Unleashed, where we discuss our thoughts on this week's geeky news, tech, gaming, television shows, movies, cartoons, comics, and more. So, get altered, get geeky with the Altered Geeks. Every Friday on the Geekcast Radio Network.
Batmobile. Ignition.
All right, we are back here inside Studio 2009. Any final thoughts, anything you'd like to say before I run through the closing, sir?
No, I don't think so. I mean, again, I keep saying over and over again, it's your list, so, and it's subjective. It's what you like. So, I mean, there is really, aside from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, there is no wrong answer.
All right, movie and TV fans, as always, we want to thank you for joining us here inside Studio 2009. If you'd like to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show, there are several ways to do so. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can listen to and comment on all of our content. Plus, we now have a brand new fourth wall store where you can buy all of our merch. T-shirts up to 4XL. You can buy mugs and all kinds of other stuff at shop.geekcastradio.com. You can send any email to feedback@geekcastradio.com. Just put in the subject line, Studio 2009, TV choices, movie choices, whatever you want to talk about. You can check us out on all the podcasting clients you choose to use, stuff like Apple Podcasts, and we're on YouTube and a bunch of other places. You can follow us on Twitter at Geekcast Radio, at ITS Studio 2009, all one word. I am at TFG1Mike. Dave doesn't do social media.
No.
Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast Radio Network. You can also check out Studio 2009 podcast over there as well. As I mentioned, next time it'll be the origins in television with me. So I'll have somebody asking me the questions this time around. For now, I am TFG1Mike with
David Draper.
Thank you for listening. Until next time, you'll hear us back in the studio soon. 2002, we have Kim Possible from the Disney Channel. We have, sorry, I'll have to edit that point. Damn it. I'm having issues today. Hate having health issues on podcasts. God damn it. Edit point.